Ladies and gentlemen, we have got some action to give you, some Rocket League to watch, and some beautiful casters to talk over it. This is the only time you're ever going to see this duo, unless Bubbly decides to make the trek up to land, but that's a long ways. I mean, if you guys don't make it, I don't know if you're going. I mean,
who isn't going?
Everyone
should go to land.
Everyone should go. But regardless, Bubbly and I on the screen, and yeah, that's him. That's me. I'm excited to see what we get out of this weekend. Obviously, we've had some great series so far in Challenger and Rising Star, but normally you and I would be playing today. You would be playing today, but you're injured, and that does not look fun. Yeah, that does not look fun. But normally you would be playing today. My team, of course, didn't make it to the second week of the major. My team did not make it to.
Uh-oh.
It's still giving me problems. I don't know why it's doing this, but I have to get it looked at some point. But we just taking a look at the schedule, we have got some good matches so far. The only one set in stone so far is Superior's Jungle. That is a quarterfinal match, and we are Bubbly now into the elimination bracket of the second week of the Premier Major. Now, Premier only has 12 teams, correct?
Correct. 12 teams in Premier.
And we can, obviously we don't have 16, so we can't run a Swiss, but we've had 12 so far, and we've eliminated 4. We're down to 8 remaining, and they are in the elimination bracket. Obviously, your Flyers down there on the bottom taking on the Knights, and Steelhawks Maulers, that should be a good one, off stream, Derecho and Senators, and then Superiors and Jungle. And I picked this one because I thought that this could possibly have an upset potential. I'm curious your thoughts on that.
It could, because in the group stage, we saw Jungle beat the number 1 seeded Steelhawks, Superior's the number 2 seed. So if they could beat the 1, why not the 2, right?
Exactly.
And plus, they're still fighting for, seeding. They technically could get eliminated from play-ins if Knights win the major and they lose this round.
But the likelihood of the Knights winning the major, though, is...
Yeah.
I don't know how possible it is, but... I think overall, Bubbly, that we're in for a treat, that's for sure. Starting lineups on your screen. Obviously, Duluth has their normal 3 that we've seen all season long. They went to an 8-2 record, 9-2 in the season, something like that. Maybe 10-2, 9-2, yeah. And Chicago right now sitting in 8th place at 5-6 on the season. They have 29 points, and the interesting thing is they made a lot of roster moves. They now end up with Stratus subbing up, and this is the best iteration of this roster that I have seen. So far, playing-wise, this is the best, the most solid roster that they have played with.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. I think they've made a big upgrade somehow after losing Raker at the start of the season.
I know.
You'd think anyone they pick up is going to be a downgrade, but then they just play with a challenger sub up, and all of a sudden they're beating teams 5-6 places above them in standings.
Doesn't make much sense, but we can't always have the perfect series. But regardless, now back to us on the screen. I'll throw the series up at the top left. I'm curious your prediction for this series, Bubbly. I am going to go with the Jungle in 7. I feel like this is obviously all best of 7s. Every match today is a best of 7. We're going to extend our timeout as much as possible. I'm going with a Chicago win in 7 games.
Well, if you're picking the upset, I feel like I have to pick the obvious choice in Duluth, who for the longest time was that number 1 team in standings. Fargo just edging out over them in the last series of the season with that game differential. But with Bryant up there on defense, top saves in the league, I feel like it's going to be hard for Jungle to find a way to score on them, especially with that Stratus being a challenger. Maybe not as familiar scoring in Premier lobbies, not as familiar scoring against B+ Bryant, but we'll see how that goes for them. Are we getting into it? We're getting into it.
Game number 1 going to kick off on the field. Chicago and Duluth. Chicago have had a great run of play so far in the past couple of weeks, like I said, but Duluth has been steady and strong, Bubbly, all season long. Can they continue that dominance against a red-hot Chicago Jungle who have done so well to make it out of play-ins or make it out of the group stage and into the actual elimination bracket. Now, we know about that obviously giant three-way tie they had with Bemidji, and poor Bemidji was on the losing end of that, and all the way down the field, End finds a pinch to Remzik, and that's a free shot. I think it was actually, yeah, it was End.
Yeah, just Bryant caught stealing corner boost in that front left. No one back when the ball pinches out middle. Remzik take the half court open net any day.
And obviously, End, Remzik, and Stratus, Crispy, Bryant, and Fours. Bryant, the player to look out for me, but it's this man who has had the best, I think, besides Season 5, Bubbly. You remember Season 5 Fours, how good he was then with that Rochester team. This is the best iteration of Fours I think we've seen in
MCS.
honest,
I don't remember Season 5 Fours. I remember Season 6 Fours because
Conundrum Fours and Vanish was the Season 5 Rochester team.
Right.
They made top 4. They lost to Mankato in semifinals, but still that version of Fours was not as good as this one, but he's had a really good season so far still with Bryant and Crispy, the #1 shooting percentage player in the entirety of the program.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Crispy's kind of their shooting percentage guy, but he's also not up there in goals or shots. Shows, I think, Duluth a more defensive team. See them sitting on their end, taking 50s. They're not really going for outplays, but they're still pushing the ball down upfield here.
And they're not the team to overextend. It's uncharacteristic for them to be caught out so openly by End and Remzik on that 50. And Bryant, like you said, stealing front corner boost, has gotten to be a very aggressive player. And obviously he has the defensive stats to save it, but I think Remzik might have just owned goal. Bryant gets a free one.
I think we might have spent too long talking in the intro.
I think we did.
These players looking a little off right now. A little iced out. Uncharacteristic
Remzik's got
plays.
the coffee, though. He's got the coffee to wake him up. He's got the coffee to keep him up. But unless
Another
that's
game
orange
it'll
juice.
kick in.
Yeah, definitely. Unless that's orange juice. I don't know if it's that type of person, but yeah, 2-1 advantage for Duluth so far. And Bubbly, with how Rocket League is playing these days, how impactful do you think our demo is going to be in this series?
I think they would be impactful, but I don't think either team is going to go for them. Especially, Forrest is the only one who's known to be a more physical player on the field here. But I think Chicago, their game plan is kind of just going to be play fast, try and beat people, and Duluth is just going to try and play solid. Well, maybe the bumps are impactful.
Yeah.
You got me.
Well, it was Force running interference, slams End out of the way, Crispy free shot, never gonna miss that as save attempt from End, but I think that it was Stratus actually. I think that this Duluth attack though is so coordinated with how they play, but End has just been better, carries it over every single player and walks it completely to the back of the Duluth net. This is not something you see every day in Premier.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Fours didn't quite read the amount of touches End had. Great play by End to keep that ball up and over him, but I feel like Fours could have saved that. You drive up the wall a little bit higher.
Lovely telling us how to play defense. As,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're a solid defender in your own right. I'm sure, Vogs and Trash are going to be missing you today, but get to cast instead, and you don't have to. You don't have to play for once. You have a Saturday off, Bubbly. Welcome to the club.
And I know they're going to win anyway.
No, I have faith. I have faith. I feel like with Prussia and Trash actually complement each other very, very well, but End has to be the impact player that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's the highest rated player besides Remzik on this roster. I think Remzik's just a little bit higher in salary, but End has to be that impact player for me, the one that is going to do the damage, but can't be the one making the mistakes is the biggest thing. We've seen a couple mistakes from both of these teams really so far, but I think this is going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes.
Maybe. You know what? You keep saying mistakes, and they keep making mistakes. It keeps happening. It was still a good shot from Remzik, slotting that bottom left, but errant hit off the backboard. 2 people from Duluth sitting in net waiting, nobody going for the ball. I feel like somebody's got to jump for something.
I feel like you gotta kick up your feet, you know. I feel like you can't kick up your feet. You gotta be going for the ball there, Bubbly. Otherwise, you're gonna get scored on. But 6 goals in game 1. Nobody wants to play any defense at this point, and you have the proverbially best defensive team on the field right now in the Superiors, and they have given up 3 goals in this game. It's not common for them to do that. It's essentially a 3-on-1 on Crispy, though. Plays it to the corner. Good touch. His end plays forward, and Bryant gonna clear the line, get it all the way down the field. Doesn't get past Stratus though in the midfield line, and Chicago trying to hold down the front half. If they can do that, they might find a couple more chances and be able to ice this game. It's gonna take a vicious bounce on Forrest, but he's able to put it to the side, and Crispy, not the best touch, tried to pinch it. Bryant's got to cover for him, and Bryant is slowly running out of boosts. Didn't have a ton. Remzik looking for a drop down for end, and you're going to leave Stratus last back. He's got a little bit of time to go for this ball. He gets a good first touch, and Forrest, though, going to have 1 touch, but has no boost. Remzik had time, but kind of throws it away, but it turns into a pass. That's going to be saved by Bryant as he floats across the front of his box and somehow turns that away. Now with 10 seconds left, Bubbly, do we see overtime?
I don't know. And making a play, he gets the reset, fakes out Forrest. Can't quite get this ball middle. Stratus opting to put it down. Doesn't look like it. We're going to their first overtime today.
Do you feel like this is a series that we can see 4 overtimes? I feel like it is. One of those where you just see 4 overtimes and one team wins 4 overtimes. I don't know why, but I'm hoping game 2 is not as, scoring heavy as this game 1 was, because this just proves that the defense needs to be better today. We're not awake quite yet. We don't know how to read players, but Stratus, huge demo on Forrest will remove him from the field, not allowing him to play that front man Bubbly that caused the one of the goals of him bumping end out of the way, and then Crispy had a free shot. Bryant would have had a free shot if Forrest got to it. Forrest, good first touch. Double commit from Remzik and N. Bryant gets by 1. Stratus is stuck in his net and has to make 1 more touch and finds Remzik, but that's 2 players again from Chicago beat on the ball. And I mean, we're not seeing double commits from Chicago, but we're seeing a lot of outplays from Duluth that are working for them.
Yeah, at the start of this game, it felt like Chicago was the one going for outplays, hitting the ball around people, and Duluth was more so 50s in their own end. Big double commit and double lift. Open net, maybe. Couldn't get it on target, but it's still pressure for Chicago here. But Duluth, they seem like they're trying to beat people now as this game goes on. Clearing it out of their defense just to kill some time, but Four is able to keep it in. Around the corner, soft clear to Bryant. Bryant off the backboard. Stratus misses the read. No shot coming through.
And had him covered, Bubbly. Even Stratus missing that end, read it, and went for it instead. Good bump on Bryant. First touch for Remzik wasn't great as Crispy blocks it out. Stratus, sidewall. Has a lot of boost to play with. Flip reset forward. Looking for a 53 players from Duluth commit to that. And sometimes the triple commit just happens to work. Remzik double off the backboard. Can anybody find anything? Crispy's running interference. It's a 2v1. Stratus, though, cuts in front. Bryant doesn't have a ton of boost. And Force down the field. Remzik and Stratus back there holding down the Chicago line. And Remzik and N complement each other, but I loved actually, Bubbly, how Stratus has slotted into this roster, kind of just playing a third man back, just getting a lot of possessions on the ball, and that's, with how mechanical Stratus can be, that's a good spot for him to be sitting.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know when you said you think N's the player to watch out for in jungle. I feel like it's got to be Stratus. This guy's stepping up big. His challenger season didn't go all that well, and then he's coming into Premier, and he's still showing everybody that, yeah, I could probably play here next season. Probably beat you guys this season.
He can get a spot.
Getting saves, getting shots.
Oh boy, this is sketchy. What boost does Remzik have? He gets a couple. And the corner is going to be sealed by Stratus, but Remzik gets the boost spawn. That was the double commit from Chicago that was not punished by Duluth. They got all the way down the field, but they couldn't get through. Stratus towards the corner, looking for one more touch. Forrest follows up. Remzik, though, has the catch and gets by Forrest, but Crispy on the wall to take it away. Crispy off the ceiling, has one more off the backboard. Duluth, are they home for the shot? Bryant is. Stratus makes the save, and the follow-up is from Forrest, but it's blocked out by Remzik, and defense for Chicago hanging on for now is... That one I would have loved Forrest actually to leave that for Bryant, who had a free touch. Forrest off the ceiling, one more, but can't get it through. Chicago's defense holds once again.
And they're consistently getting Chicago to triple commit on their goal line, time after time, shot after shot. Forrest fast enough. No, Bryant trying to keep it in, but Chicago's safe once again. All three players just sat on that goal line just in time.
Stratus there. Ooh. Still not out, though. Duluth's not out of the woods, though, Bubbly here. Remzik into that far corner, finds end. Doesn't have any boost to work with. We're crossing 4 minutes, and we have seen a long overtime before in a game one of a series like this. Remzik towards net. Bryant inside of it. Still pinches it off the crossbar, makes the save. Forrest now towards net. It's Crispy. Blocked by Remzik. Remzik one touch to Stratus. That shot on target. Forrest has the turnaround save. And they may have caught them out. Crispy, though, somehow climbs back in and somehow makes the save on the follow-up, but nobody was there for Duluth, and somehow from the grave they make that save, Bubbly. And now we're crossing the almost 5 minutes into this overtime, and no one willing to give an inch.
You know, no one can say they're not trying to score. Somehow we got 6 goals in 5 minutes, and now we have 0 goals in the next 5 minutes. We see attack after attack just saved at the last second. Nothing seeming to find its way in. Trying to work around the corner to get something middle. Pass out. And gonna jump and pinch it out. It's a free ball on the sidewall with no boost.
Good pass.
That one gonna be 50'd out. The speed of Forrest with time on the ball. Not a lot of boost though. But around 1, and Stratus able to clear that one back out. Crispy now going for the beat to the corner. Free ball, passes in middle, but nobody's there.
Oh!
Bryant almost got out with a counterattack, but the ball is not on net.
Stratus?
Shot it.
What in the world? Stratus.
I didn't even see what happened.
He went flying at the ball and then decided to just bump Bryant out of the way. Crispy goes missing. Force. 6 minutes of overtime played. 3-3. Like you said, we saw 6 goals in the first 5 minutes, and now we've seen 0 for 6 minutes. That's both of these teams just start to play defense now, I guess. As here's the touch across the box. Crispy. One touch, but Remzik has the clear. Did he catch Duluth out? He might have. Follow up. Is Remzik there? Drops it for N. The 50 comes out, but Bryant has the turnaround save. N goes missing. Duluth should have a free walk out, and they do, as Bryant. 50's Stratus on the sidewall. Remzik has one forward touch. Stratus lurking downfield, trying to find something to give them anything of an advantage. As we played an entire extra game, and no one's able to finish this. Is Remzik. Far post, but the shot was not on target. And maybe Chicago can break through here as they've got a demo and a shot. Bryant, though, has the save and has 7 saves on the game for Bryant, but Stratus has the win in game 1 of 6 minutes and 57 seconds. And finally, Remzik finds Stratus, and Bryant can't save that one. That would have been his 8th. But Chicago strikes first in game number 1.
I think that boost finally ran out. Chicago, I think they had 3 or 4 long open net clear opportunities. They could have scored in that overtime, so I think I'm glad to see them win that first one. Especially that overtime. Seemed like Remzik's coffee kicked in. It was game 2 for him.
Finally. Oh my, the stat sheet though for this game, Bubbly. A total of 14 saves for Duluth.
Yeah.
And that the shots, 18 shots for Chicago. They do win the game. So it's huge for them to put this one away. But that was a long overtime. And I have to say, I don't know if we get one like that again, is Stratus, of course, talking through Chicago for see what they get now. Is they're hopefully not going to see another 7-minute overtime, Bubbly, but maybe we'll get another overtime again. Maybe not like that. I hope not.
I feel like these teams, they're not going to allow 3 quick goals right away.
As you say that, though.
As I'm saying it, more plays off the ceiling. Stratus, the first killer double off the ground. This is the challenger players stepping up big.
It's just a perfect read. Gets by Bryant. Forrest can't do anything about that. Stratus stepping up huge. That is an incredible follow-up opportunity for him, and it's one that's such a good, perfect first touch. So this just turns into a 1v1 for Stratus again. Gets over Forrest. Does he have the double? It hits the crossbar as Bryant turns around and is all gonna go into the left side. And so far we've seen really Chicago step up on offense. Like we saw the 18 shots for them in game number 1. And now in the game number 2, Bubbly, do we see another high shot performance like that? I mean, obviously they already have one goal on the board. So far, yeah, it's the same thing. Duluth on their back foot.
Yeah, Duluth with no shots so far. Just content playing defense, even though they're getting scored on for it. Chicago up to 5 shots, 4 shots, or 5 shots. Yeah, I know how to math. And then Duluth with these counterattacks, they're just not doing enough. Yeah. Like, even when they're clearing the ball to the corner, there's no follow, no pass middle afterwards. It seems like they're just hoping Chicago will make a mistake, and so far, Chicago is not.
I mean, there's maybe one, but it's going to dunk all the way through. Bryant's follow-up is blocked. Chicago with the plot armor on the post. As that one just hit the post, Bubbly, and went out. Is Fours, I don't know how he even read the ball, was trying to flip into it, get something as Bryant off the backboard. Crispy free shot is blocked out by Stratus. Chicago jungle defense so far hanging on. Stratus, one more touch forward. Is looking for a 50 now between Crispy and Remzik, and it's won somewhat by Crispy, who gets over one, but made contact on the ball, got one. Bryant around one. Has the ball position, but is again shut down on the challenge. And that's one thing that Chicago has done well, Bubbly, is keeping a challenge on a lot of Duluth. And the counterattacks are not working for them because the challenges for Duluth have been so good. As Crispy had a free shot, he shoots it right into Remzik. Maybe another opportunity for him, but Remzik beats him out this time. And 2:40 to go. Chicago looking to hold on here, Bubbly, and go up 2-0 on Duluth.
The goal line plot armor continues as another save after save. All these balls going around the corner for Duluth. Bryant hitting it over one defender. There's another one back on the backboard already waiting. Or is even the pass to the side to Bryant. He challenged and shot right away from end. Seems like Chicago just not giving them any space on this ball. More clears coming out. Fours and Bryant double commit on the sidewall. That's going to leave another attack squandered. And coming out, it's slow around the corner, popping it middle high, but Crispy able to get it up and over. Free ball to Fours, but Fours again, I think he's just panicking a little. Hits it to the corner and gives the ball away. Chicago still keeping this ball high, keeping Duluth's boost low, not allowing any opportunities, and no one able to jump for this ball right away. Fours off his own backboard after getting the corner boost. Finally, Duluth, clear ball downfield, possession, there's someone bumping. Bryant just pops it too high to end waiting on the backboard. Matt, I don't know, what is Duluth's plan for attack to get a goal?
I mean, we saw a couple of physical plays come out from them in the first game, Bubbly, and it worked out, bumping a Chicago player on the ball. But right now, Chicago is doing so well on just the challenge game. They've gotten so many good, just complete and utter 50-50 wins and dunks that Chicago is just completely frustrated at this point, or Duluth is frustrated at this point with not having enough boost to finish off a lot of these chances that Chicago is giving them. Stratus down the field looking for one more touch. Crispy, though, turns it to the side, gives Bryant a free ball, fakes out one. Bryant, what does he have? He's challenged immediately by End, who shuts it down. It's Stratus on the counterattack, gets it behind Crispy. And N made that play, Bubbly. This is a 2-on-1 for Duluth, and N just shuts it down.
No, I'm like, what does Duluth need to score? We finally see something. We see Bryant, arguably their best player, full boost in a 1v1 against N, and somehow, instead of a goal for them, it just pinches back into their own net. I really think, maybe there was some element of luck in that pinch, but I feel like Bryant could have done better with that, too.
Yeah, it was a 2-on-1, like I said. So I mean, could have maybe flicked to the right a little bit more. Could have not trying to go over N, just played a little bit more patient. But N played it perfectly on the challenge and just went right away as Remzik drops it to N on the far side. Stratus has both of the goals for Chicago right now, up 2-0, looking to be, and they are, as they have got the number 2 Duluth Superiors on the ropes.
Not quite on the match point just yet, though. Still a best of 7. There's still time for Duluth to come back in this. I know you predicted at the start to go to Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Duluth has to have a rebuttal here. Yeah, they're gonna come back. You know they're gonna put something together, get something going. There's no way that they don't look at it as.
In the replay, though, that first Stratus goal, that double touch off the ground with no boost, that was beautiful.
Yeah, it was such a good play, and I mean, you see Chicago, they so far, Bubbly, have done a great job of the challenge game likes that specifically, but not giving Duluth a ton of opportunities. I mean, you've seen so far 5 shots for Duluth in that game, and they don't find the back of the net once. You talk about offense, what they need to do differently on offense. They got to find the back of the net somehow. It's going to be, you got to make your way through somehow. But now into game number 3, timeouts are in play. Timeouts are a thing. A lot of people didn't know that, Bubbly, but timeouts do exist. And
yeah.
Do we, if Duluth loses this game, do we see Duluth maybe call a timeout here?
I mean, I know Forrest and Bryant were 2 of the people talking about it in the MCS chats. And Forrest, I know the type of player he likes to analyze the game, think a lot, so I feel like he could be one of the players to do it, but at the same time, I know there's like an RLCS stigma. If you call a timeout, that's when you lost the series. The other team is like, oh, we made them call a timeout. We're that much better. So, I don't know. I think it could go either way. But either way, we're already starting to see Duluth in the offense more at the start of this game, but just no final shot coming through. Chicago quick counterattack. Snuffed out by Bryant. Now, clear this one around the corner. 50 out mid, Fours with time on the ball, throws it off the backboard. Doesn't make the read, but Crispy, that top shooting percentage, gonna find the first goal for Duluth in, 10 minutes? 11 minutes?
It's been a long time since they found the back of the net, but it's Crispy to do it. It's 1. See the Santa hat. Hopefully he can step it up and get Duluth going. But yeah, they have not scored in quite a while, and it's good for them to see the lid kind of come off again now, Bubbly, so they understand, hey, we can score. It's not like we, can't, but it's going to pinch off the post. Remzik, though, has the save. Turns it away, though. Crispy on a great catch. Going to put more pressure on Chicago, who don't have any boost and is starved, and so is Remzik. Is kind of feeds the ball to Crispy. Crispy, one more flip, gets over end and has it off the ceiling. Another individual play from really, it was Stratus in game 2, and now it's Crispy in game 3.
I was going to call out Crispy missed the corner boost steal on his rotation out, so I thought that play was going to turn out just fine for Chicago, and 100 boost on the backboard, and still, Crispy just one touch over him. Beats him out, and Duluth sitting comfortable with the 2-goal lead. Find it hard pressed for Chicago to score 2 goals on a defensive team who doesn't need to score.
Chicago, though, Bubbly. Chicago have brought the wrecking ball this series. Have really brought an offensive stance. Have kind of just stood forward at the midfield line and said, try and get past us. As Force loses the 50 to Stratus. Remzik, one touch forward, has no boost. Crispy, great touch across. Bryant's there for the shot, but he hits bar down and it just kisses the crossbar. Bryant, one more touch. Duluth all forward in Chicago's box, and they don't get anything out of that. Remzik, good 50 across the front. Stratus, one more touch is shut down by Crispy. As Remzik will be dunked again by Crispy. Crispy having a great game, number 3. Bubbly stepping it up for Duluth when they needed a hero at this point. Crispy seems to be that guy.
And not just the goals, but these challenges, like especially at the midfield, he's not just like 50ing it, but he's winning the challenge, giving Fours and Bryant time for boost. But Fours still struggling with his challenge game.
As it was end. Or Stratus, excuse me. Fours flips by it. Thought Stratus would flip the other way. Doesn't matter. Chicago gets 1. And yes, I will try and DM Ben to get a prediction up for the next series. I apologize for this one, as hard for me to run a prediction as well, but as I had to reset something before we played this series on the team side of things, but out towards net, and good clear, and a demo on the side of Chicago, but they do get out, as Remzik's on the far side, kind of alone, and there's nobody for Chicago in the vicinity. Now N shows up, but you talk about the spacing that I talk about the spacing that Duluth has had in this series. Has not been great. Chicago has had better spacing for me so far. Have not, given a ton of double commits, but have had a couple triple commits. But overall, they've done a good job of covering most of the field, and that's a really, really big thing with Rocket League nowadays.
And the times they are double and triple committing, like you're saying, it's been like on their goal line, save a goal, where Duluth is all committing to. His Remzik double touch chance gonna be saved away.
Oh!
Fours doesn't find the shot though from N. Demo rotating back, but Stratus gonna collect that. Fours now on the counter attack. Beats 1. Can he dribble around?
He's dangerous.
2?
Oh.
And out. Oh, a little bit of a turbo flick. Interesting.
Fours will take that though, Bubbly. Fours will take that any day of the week. Somewhat fakes the flip, doesn't get it, doesn't matter, finds the back of the net. Duluth getting one back here, Bubbly. They're up 3-1 with the minute 05, but does Chicago have some fireworks in this game number 3? What can we see from them? It's been this man, Stratus, to make most of the plays for the Jungle on offense, hitting a lot of the shots. Crispy goes missing. Bryant has to clear the lines, but he gives it right to Remzik, who passes back to Bryant as Stratus one touch across, and is there to cover it up, and maybe one more touch into the corner goes missing. Now it's awkward for Duluth after that miss. Shot towards net from Remzik, but it's blocked by Bryant. Stratus double off the backboard. Bryant again there to turn it away, as the captain and leading player for Duluth has had to make a couple individual saves to keep them in this game from possibly giving up one more goal. Remzik flip reset far side is blocked out again by Bryant, who's standing in the way of this Jungle attack.
And you're saying Fours didn't have a great start to this game, but at the end here, coming up big, solo counterattack goal, making some saves, and Bryant still struggling, misses that open net opportunity, but Fours gotta clean it up for him.
3 seconds left, and yeah, Bryant has struggled offensively in this series so far, but has not struggled defensively and or physically, as Stratus will be somewhat bumped out of the way now into game number 4, Bubbly. We're going to see a 2-1 series and a scoreline so far of the Jungle up 2-1 as they won the first 2 games with Duluth, with a rebuttal here in this game number 3. And Bubbly, did we see a change of offensive scheme from Duluth, or was it just not as good a defense from Jungle?
Personally, I feel like game 1, both teams are warming up, not playing their greatest. Game 2, Chicago, they were like, okay, let's wake up. It's time to play good. And then game 3, I feel like Superiors were like, okay, now it's our turn to wake up. We got to play good too. And it's not even like Chicago played bad. I feel like they just overcommit a few too many times, and Superiors finally starting to commit on some of these counterattacks, some of these pressure plays that I don't know if Chicago has an answer for if Duluth is playing well.
Now in this series, it's 2-1 Chicago. Does Chicago, Bubbly, need to change anything offensively? I don't think they do. I think they've had, still another great shot game. 9 shots in this game previously, 11 for Duluth. They get outshot by 2, and they lose 4-1. But again, one of the goals was at kind of the end, so It was technically 3-1, but now in this game number 4, I don't think that Chicago needs to change anything. I just think they need to, go back to what they were doing in game 1 and 2, and that's shut down Duluth's offense.
I feel like if anything, they could pull back a little from the offense, focus a little more on the defense, not allowing so many counterattacks. As you see, Ed and Stratus, they keep going off these sidewalls. They have the mechanics to get solo play goals, and I feel like they should be focusing more on that and less on these crazy defensive challenges. They'll leave an open opportunity. Couldn't quite get it on net, though. And I feel like it's all coming from their offensive overcommits that's putting them in these awkward spots on defense.
And I don't think, Bubbly, we haven't seen a car change from anyone. Nobody has altered their preset. Nobody has altered anything in this series so far. So confidence still at an all-time high for both of these teams as Remzik gets one more touch off the follow-up somewhat, but gets dumped by Bryant. Now off the backboard. Forrest, though, wasn't expecting that and kind of drove away from the ball and abandoned the play as Crispy one more touch off the backboard. Bryant again off the backboard, and that's just an overcommit for Crispy, who didn't realize he turned into second man and all the way down the field. Jungle up 1 again.
I feel like that initial touch Bryant could have shot, but Crispy kind of cut him off, hit it off the back wall.
I think both of them could have shot the ball, maybe.
Bryant couldn't follow it up.
Yeah.
He just had to hit it off the back wall, too. Big miscommunication from Duluth. Not following it up. But I'm also
Bryant
just seeing.
Has a flip reset pinch off the ground. Crispy doesn't read it as it bounced somewhat awkwardly, but still a free touch for him and a free shot, but doesn't make contact. And Duluth maybe going to want that one back. Now Bryant on the ball. Monster backboard slam as Stratus has the read and goes missing. Does Crispy get this in as Stratus scrambles back to make the touch and saves Chicago for now? But we've seen a lot of errant touches, Bubbly, from both of these teams that just errant misses. We saw the game 1, there was a double commit from Duluth. They both missed the ball on the contact. Now we see End missing the ball. Do you think that could play a factor in who's, finding the back of the net here?
But even that play, there's a miss coming out of the corner. I feel like it's a big thing, especially when Chicago's play style, they've been committing so hard for every offense that one miss might throw their whole rotation out and leave them stranded on defense. Bryant's a great 1v3 play. How did he get that through everybody?
Bryant's off the backboard, just waits on Remzik and Stratus, and you see the reaction from the team in the cams, and I mean, you see they just throw themselves at the ball, and Bryant says, "Come get me, come take the ball from me," is just kind of puts it on a pedestal for him, Bubbly, and says, maybe you can come try and take it from me. But Bryant really just baited that play out. That wasn't on target, but Stratus still makes the save off the post. That got sketchy very, very, very quickly as Stratus no boost on his backline. Bryant towards net. It's blocked out by Remzik again, and good save for Chicago. Stratus looking for one more touch, wants to save his 50 boost, though. Crispy off the backboard. Remzik, good cover midfield, and will get the touchdown field. Force forward, one more touch. Flip reset off the ceiling, but can't get it. Crispy was caught out, and I think if Stratus left the ball for End, it would have been a goal, but the pinch going to go errant and go wide is now tied up at 1, 2 minutes to go, and Bubbly, this has been one of the more crazier games we've seen so far.
There's definitely feels almost like a return to game 1, but they added in a little bit of defense. So some of these goals that are going in are just, where's the defender? Why is he not hitting that? Just like this one.
I think End wanted to reset there on the sidewall, didn't get what he wanted. Remzik gets caught. Free shot for Crispy, hits it bottom into the middle of the net, and Duluth able to go up 1 with 1:45 to go. Stratus up the sidewall for Remzik, goes a free ball and boost, but didn't get the best first touch and kind of throws it to the corner, and gonna want that one back as it just turns into a giveaway now as Stratus somewhat towards net, forces a double commit again from Duluth. Brian and Crispy involved in it, but End gonna take it off their head. Now a 50 across the middle of the field. Stratus into that corner. Bryant looking for one more touch. Will leave it for Force. And Duluth just leaving the ball for their teammates now, doing so well at giving each other the possession. No one player is sitting on the ball for Duluth. It's really just, it's everyone getting the opportunities.
We're seeing the team plays start to come out, but it's not really the passing plays. They're just kind of 50ing to each other, communicating well, and just good solid rotation from Duluth. I'm waiting for them to do something fancy again, like Brian 1v3.
Oh!
Then
Stratus is there! Oh boy, that got sketchy quick, and nearly had that. Off the backboard, off the ceiling. I thought he had it, but Stratus has the follow. Free shot, back of the net. Jungle tie up the game at 2 apiece. 47 seconds left. Bubbly, do we see another long overtime? I don't think we do. I feel like somebody scores here in the end. Before we get to overtime.
I hope not. I think both of these teams' offenses have picked up a little more. Not as sloppy. All of these solo plays are so exciting because it feels like all of them could go in.
Yeah.
Where even Duluth around the corner taking 50s. Normally there wouldn't be a follow, but instead here's Fours keeping it in. Crispy keeping it in after that 50. And Chicago's struggling to find a way out. And finally a clear comes out, but it's just right back to Duluth.
Force just spawns there and just notices Bubbly, hey, there's a ball. It's Brian, another solo play. Remsick inside of his net, makes the save, jumps off the inside post. As far as doubling the ball off the sidewall, will kick it down to the ground. Overtime in game number 4. Again, an opportunity for Chicago to go on match point. Bubbly, this is the second time in a row that they've had the chance. They squandered the first one. Will they squander this one away too?
No.
No. Simple as that.
We'll see. Got Chicago coming out, big counterattack, and Brian missing the clear shot just off. Remsick's there to finish it off. No long overtimes here. It's just another miss on the ball. Gonna lead to a goal.
And that one, of course, gonna find the back of the net. As they will get a free one. Chicago will get on the board. But not get on the board. We'll get that final goal and go up onto match point. 3-1 over Duluth, who, 700 points from Remsick. 10 total saves for Chicago. They had to make a lot of defensive touches. And Stratus was 7 shots by himself, found the back of the net once, and only had to do it once, as that proved to be one of the more important goals in the game. But now going into game number 5, what do we see from this Duluth side? How do you come back, Bubbly, from being down 3-1? Because you're in a hole now.
That was rough. Because I feel like that game was like a definitive Duluth win. Like, there's no way they can lose this game. And then just a couple little defensive mistakes, and all of a sudden, Chicago takes advantage. So I feel like they just need to keep playing how they were playing and just keep the execution up. Because some of those goals, I don't feel like Chicago earned, if that makes sense. As rude as that
I feel
sounds.
like there was a lot of mistakes being made. I feel like there was
a
lot of mistakes I feel like Duluth made a lot of mistakes, and as a result, Chicago kind of just capitalized on that. And now in game number 4, Jungle up 3-1. Game number 5, excuse me. Jungle up 3-1. Looking to go on and finish this series off in 5 games would be a huge win, and kind of an upset, Bubbly, against Duluth, who have not looked like themselves, have looked like a shell of their former selves, really.
Well, like you said, also, Chicago's looking pretty hot. Took out Fargo in the group stage, and also Fargo just seen that they lost 4-0 to the Maulers in their quarterfinals.
So
rough.
that is the only one. Steelhawks going down in 4 games to the Bloomington Maulers. That's the only score report that we have so far. And that, Maulers in our next game, that is very, very, very scary. Because if the Bloomington is winning 4-0 against
Fargo?
Fargo, the number 1 team, whoever plays them is going to have not a fun time, I will say that. But this series still going strong. There's 3:50 still left in this game, Bubbly, and nobody scores right away off the kickoff. Did we see? We saw somewhat of an early goal in that last game, and previously in games we have too.
Yeah, I think a couple of times teams just got caught out right away, but so far everyone looking solid. Duluth still just opting to take 50s. Let the opportunities come to them instead of trying to force things. This being a great touch back to Bryant. Gonna pop middle, but again, Duluth, nobody jumping. They're just waiting for Chicago to make a bad clear, make a mistake on the goal line. The Chicago, on the other hand, big fake in the air
and
off the crossbar. Where's the shot? Where's it just a little late? Three people jumping.
Is anyone home?
What is happening?
What is
happening? The follow-up.
What is this? What is that? And it's still there in Duluth.
Survive unscathed.
They thank their lucky stars for that. Are you serious? How in the world does Chicago not score that into the back of the net?
I don't know. I would give you some analysis, but I feel like everybody had a shot, everybody had a save, and the ball just didn't want to go in. It chose not to. That's got to be it.
Yeah. I don't. What? Just
no words.
I have no words. I don't know what in the world was that. Another miss. Forrest. Finally, Remza cleans it up. How many backboard misses have we seen from Duluth so far in this 5th game?
Too many for a number 2 seeded team. Seems like they just keep happening game after game. You know, at least game 1 they had the excuse we might have iced them a little bit, made them wait in the lobby for like 2 minutes. But ever since then, it's just continued time after time. And especially from Bryant, who I'm like number 6 overall pick in the draft. A lot of people hyping him up as this great defensive player, most saves in the league, and he's just missing easy reads left and right.
Does that continue, though, as this game gets closer and closer? Probably does that continue to, plague Duluth, or do they come back? But right now they're under a onslaught that Chicago has set up. We have not left the Duluth half in a minute and a half, really. Just it's been complete and utter dominance from Chicago's offense so far. As finally Bryant somewhat wins a 50, but right back into that Duluth end is Stratus putting pressure again on that net, giving Duluth just more and more problems.
The solo play attempt turns into a pass, but End not quite getting the shot to finish it off. But Chicago's still looking relatively comfortable, despite Duluth now trying to make a play, got the bump and the flip reset, but not finishing that play out as Chicago finds a pass middle, End 50 on the goal line. Doesn't quite make it through fours. Now, Duluth double committing again for a clear out. And the team bump coming out, and trying to slot that top border, but fours able to clear it out. So now Bryant upfield for the pass to Fours. Great shot! Gets it over the last defender from the corner and still sneaks it under the crossbar.
I mean, he was trying to pass back. We know, Bryant. We read it. You were passing. We understand. We know what you're doing. But that is a good shot. A great shot from Bryant. Gets it by that last defender and ties up the game with 40 seconds left now. Duluth on their last leg, Bubbly, are a game away from being eliminated from the major 5th through 8th, which impacts, I mean, with Steelhawks out now a ton, I mean, does this impact, other things as far as St. Cloud goes, or any of the teams that are in the hunt? Is it, I believe it's just play-in seeding, if I'm not mistaken.
Not even. Duluth and Fargo guaranteed the 1 and 2 seed. They already made land.
Okay.
But with Fargo losing, if Duluth wins this, they can take the 1 seed at land.
Ooh.
Which would be something.
That does indeed. Interesting indeed. But Green Bay, yes, need Duluth to win. That is the one thing that Tibbles and overtime in game number 5. Green Bay does need Duluth to win, or Green Bay is out no matter if they win or not. But now off of the touch, Remzik off the backboard. Crispy goes missing and ends it and wins it for the Chicago Jungle, who I predicted them to get it done in 7. They get it done a little quicker than that and eliminate the Superiors in 5 games.
I think you might have caster cursed that one, saying Duluth needs to win for Green Bay. Immediately, Duluth is just, I don't know what happened off that kickoff, but to be fair, I think they should have gotten scored on a few more times that game than they did. Chicago bringing the pressure that whole game and that whole series, really. Shot after shot, pressure. Gave up some counterattacks in the middle games of that series there, but overall, I think the onslaught worked out for them.
And, I mean, another score coming in, Bubbly. The Derecho defeating the Superiors in 6 games. So
The Senators.
The Senators, excuse me. The Senators. Sorry, my bad. Derecho winning in 6 over there. And, judging from the reaction from my brother, who is playing in the other room currently, it sounds like St. Cloud and Green Bay are still going on, as far as I know, Bubbly. So,
Yes.
yeah, as far as I know, that series going on still. But I think that overall, if you're on the side of Duluth, you take this to, you don't take it to heart. You understand, Chicago is fighting essentially for their life, Bubbly. They had to win this. They need to win this to stay in the conversation. And Duluth is not fighting for their life. They're already playing at land. Why would they need to, sweat over this series so much? But to be fair, though,
I think there's some pride on the line.
I think there definitely is. Yeah, I agree.
You gotta be like, yeah, I'm the best team. I can win when I want. I'm going to win this whole major. And now we see the 1 and 2 teams, both of the teams qualified for land out of this event. It's exciting because it means everyone else is just fighting for their play-in seeding. As I believe Chicago's clinched now and Green Bay is out. So we have all of our play-in teams set. And it's just whoever wins gets the better seeding.
Indeed. And obviously, we're still waiting on that St. Cloud, and
it just came in.
It just came in
4-3 Knights.
In Game 7, the Flyers with a sub. Shout out to Bubbly Reaper, obviously.
Shout out to Prussia.
Shout out to Prussia as well. Getting the win in Game 7, eliminating the Green Bay Knights. So Green Bay was out regardless, Bubbly, but still good for them to, try. Try and get in, but a massive win for the Flyers, as they will move on to the semis and play the Chicago Jungle, who they played previously when did you guys play the Jungle? Recently, I'm pretty sure.
We played them in one of their first matches they played with Stratus, and they beat us 3-1.
Interesting. So
in the regular season.
Anything is possible with the sub, but Prussia stepping up, getting them to Game 7. And now, obviously, we've got
our semifinal match.
Our semifinal match coming up. Yeah, I'm just stalling right now.
I know you gotta manage it. I'm gonna take over this cast, okay?
I'm just stalling. Bubbly, give us your thoughts on that series.
That series was an incredible series. I know we did a lot of analysis during the matches. Superiors, the defensive team, and Chicago just all out offense. We're beating the dead horse. Chicago, I really loved Stratus. Stepped up big. Continues to step up big for this premier team. Making me regret in my mock draft at the start of the season. I thought he was going to be a 3rd round challenger player. And, eating my words a little bit, as now he's beaten some of the best in Premier. But Remzik and End also working together, got a few solo plays. Expected a little bit more out of Remzik, honestly, but I think him not stepping up as big allowed End and Stratus.
I agree.
And on the side of Duluth, I think Bryant really let me down. I feel like he's got to be that rock for that team.
And he wasn't today. He just wasn't. It's one of those things, Bubbly, where you can be insane sometimes, and sometimes you're just mundane on the day. I feel like it's one of those things where you can be insane that one day and then just be average the next. It doesn't happen, But obviously
Are
we
we
have
going to
our
a break before our next semifinal?
We are. We're going to go to a break, a very short one. Obviously, you see the next matchup. The Maulers and the Derecho going to face off in that next semifinal. And obviously, I didn't put the names in just yet, but it should be in there now. As of course, you got the Jungle and the Flyers facing off in that other semifinal, and then we have a TBD for that grand final. We don't know who's playing in it just yet, but it should be a blast, and I'm excited for it. Bubbly. Sorry, Wesley. Very, very short 5-minute intermission. We'll start at 4. I promise. We'll start at 4. I'll be quick, but
I need a break. I need to drink water.
yeah, Bubbly. Me and Bubbly need to get water. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. We need to get water. Okay.
I got nothing.
It's hot in here, as you can see.
It was too exciting of a series.
It's too exciting of a series, but yeah, we will see you guys in just a bit.
Moment, all it takes is a moment. Is it fate that you came this far unbroken? If it's destiny, you wrote it. Focused, but you gotta be focused. Make or break, it's the last goodbye they remember you for. They're calling your name, go and take what's yours. Here, now, it's everything you've been dreaming about. There's a reason why you were chosen. This is your moment. I know it's coincidental, but I'm getting kinda mental. Cause every time I'm busy, yeah, your mood goes straight south. When I try to reassemble, and you're not feeling level, but I can't be the only one that's helping you out. I didn't apply to sacrifice all of myself to you. Oh, and all of my time was wasted trying to be there to get you through. Oh, I'm working the night shift, spending all of my time helping your mind shift while I'm losing mine. Working the night shift, think I'm going blind. 'Cause every time you're crying, I can't see right. Clocking in till I'm all worked out. I got a psychic now, yeah, with a therapy couch. But you attention like I pay my rent, and when the last one sank, got a brand new tech ride. Try to give you the benefit, give you all of my credit, but I think we come to the end of it. You've been maxing it out. I don't have much to give. Oh, I'm working the night shift, spending all of my time helping your mind shift while I'm losing mine. Working the night shift, think I'm going blind. 'Cause every time you're crying, I can't see right. You fall asleep too fast. I hope my head don't crash. Don't think that I can last. You're supported.
All right. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. We just had an exciting quarterfinal match. All the quarterfinal matches are done now for this premier single elimination bracket. So we are going on to the semifinals between Maulers and Derecho. I am joined here today by CT. How are you doing, CT?
I'm doing great. I have absolutely no clue how Premiere works, but I'm here to have a good time. I'm watching good Rocket League this entire day.
Oh, come on. You're one of the best players in Rising Star. I'm sure you're going to make it Premiere soon enough. But
100%.
we are already past 4 o'clock. 4:05, so I'm going to get into it pretty quickly here. We got everybody in the lobby. So quickly, what is your prediction? Who do you think's going to win?
From watching so much Premiere, I'm just going with the stats right now. I'm going with the upset of Maulers. 4-2, 100%. Maulers got it.
No, it is bold to call Maulers an upset win. They started out this season pretty hot. Comet was hyped up. Pretty good player. Very mechanical. But kind of fallen off a little bit towards the end. Meanwhile, Derecho on the other side of it started out a little slower, now find themselves in 4th after that quarterfinal matches. But getting into this game here, going to be Des Moines starting off with the pressure. Bloomington able to clear it out to midfield, trying to get a counterattack going, but Water cutting that off. And Wesley going up the sidewall. Moki taking it in the air for this solo play. His first overall Premier pick, beating 152, getting the reset off the post. That was incredible to watch.
It just seems like everyone's a little flopping around. Maybe they want to come back to Rising Star.
Maybe someday, but
You gotta feel good though. With 1 goal up in 30 seconds already, you gotta feel good after that one.
Oh yeah, big hot start for Des Moines already. Proving you wrong with your Bloomington prediction.
First goal means absolutely nothing. They're gonna feel good, but Maulers are gonna heat up after this one.
We'll see. Still seeing Des Moines going for these solo plays out of their own end. Comet might try his turn. 50 back to Zodak. All these plays going up to the ceiling as no shot follow-up finds its way through. Comet off the corner can be cleared away. Mogi another opportunity. Full boost off the sidewall, gets the reset, and no chance for the goalie in net.
Well, seems like he has the hot hand somehow in that camera.
I haven't even been looking at the cameras. I kind of forgot cameras were a thing, because Mahler's over here with no cameras. Oof. Call him out. So that's why Derecho is going to win, I think. They got the camera buff.
I mean, they definitely look much better in this game. It seems like Maulers are just kind of out of position everywhere, just kind of going for the ball randomly without trying to find anyone over here.
Yeah. Derecho a little bit more controlled. Maybe not, as miss off the back ball. And Wesley just turns in the net. Gonna find an open goal.
I guess they don't have to specifically pass if the ball's just right in front of the net for them there.
No, fair enough. Maybe a good strategy. Keep hitting the ball on net, but not sure that'll work long term. We'll have to see. Third ball up the sidewall. Cut off as Comet takes it to the sky over one. Water and Mogi double commit on the goal line, trying to save that out, but nothing comes of it. Maulers still around the corner. Good bumps coming out, but no shot follow-up. Gonna be cleared away. Mogi now in the air, taking a 50. Wolf with a good demo. Zodak free ball on the sidewall, but Wolf, those wall dashes, gonna come back just in time to demo. Not enough to clear the pressure out. Mogi again in the air, trying to get it through, but saved away to the corner. Zodak 50 on the sidewall. Wesley's turn to take it in the air. He goes for a flip reset high. Just waiting for that one. Now, counterattack possibly as 50 gets past two. Mogi couldn't beat out Wesley around there. Pinch all the way back as I feel like, what do you think, CT? I feel like these balls are flying cross court, left and right, up and down, all over. Who do you think has more control of this series?
Well, I definitely have to agree that the as that one just goes right in. I don't know which one is Christmas Comet, but that's just an open net at this league. You have to get there at some point. All three defenders are just waffling.
Mogi, Water, and Wolf all on the backboard, all driving towards net. It's interesting play for sure. Getting back into it again. Shot coming out. What happened to my Discord? Am I still here? Can you hear me, CT?
Yeah, I can hear you. With this, is that just an open? This is just an open net. I have no clue what's actually happening in this game. There's just a whiff that comes out, you call it a fake, and it goes straight into the middle of the net. All of a sudden, the Ballers find themselves one up here.
Okay, I think my Discord's alive now. I don't know what happened there, but we are all good, I think, if you can still hear me.
Yep, welcome back.
Thank you. I missed a goal. What did I miss?
There was a tactical fake on the field and an open net.
Good. We love the tactical fakes. Happen even in the Premier level.
Oh no, that was so close. 10 more boosts and he easily has that one.
Ooh, big shot coming out from Wolf as that ball just finds its way middle. Capitalizing on it. Derecho still seems like they're either going really high in the air in midfield or just 50ing it around the corner.
And I think that this first game is just warm-up for both of them. Maulers are coming off of a 4-0, so they've probably been just sitting there for a little bit. So they might just be getting all their whiffs out here early.
I didn't even think about that because Derecho was also the second match finishing, so both of these teams have been sitting here for a little bit waiting. Still showing plenty of offense, just not quite connecting on the defense. As another shot on net, double commit out, and Comet's just gonna clear it to the other end of the field. Almost a shot coming out. Awkward save, but Wolf able to get the counterattack going. 2v1, but can he get it middle? Inches it all the way across. Not able to find a shot there. Is ball coming back to Wolf. Gonna pop it high. Zodak, passing play to Comet. Comet over one. Ball's not on net. Gonna have to catch that low 50 middle. Now counterattack passing play. Come in the way of Derecho. Off the corner, around one, but Wesley easily saved away as 15 seconds left. Are we gonna see a 0-second goal?
I don't think so. These teams, I'm gonna not speak right now. They're gonna be up in the air.
Alright, well, 1 second left, another midfield 50, gonna fall down to the ground. We're going to overtime, game 1. Picked all the exciting matches to be on stream. Every series going to overtime so far, a lot. Rachel with the first attack. Gonna get a 50 in the Mauler's end. Wolf just trying to work it around the corner. 50's 2 out, but Mauler's not budging an inch. Big pinch coming out. Give Wesley a chance to get it by 2. Comet off the sidewall. Zodak the shot, just not quite on net. 2 goalies pre-jumping in net, couldn't find a save. Zodak off the ceiling. He's got boost. Trying to go fake out 1, but leave it for Comet. Sidewall double.
No.
Gets in middle to Wesley, but I feel like a defender could have saved that, CT.
Yeah, for some reason this game just seems to be an open net simulator. I think that minus 1 or 2 goals, everything was an open net with no one in the net.
Yeah, a little rough start for both of these teams here so far. I think the standout player on Derecho has been Mogi, but I think there's really been a standout player on Maulers.
Honestly, not really. Everything that I'm seeing is just waiting for a mess up and then just finding that back of the net. They're getting it, but it's only on mistakes that they're actually getting anything there.
Tend to agree with you there. Also seen some more bump plays coming out from Bloomington, which I personally love, as everyone knows. Cool. Talking with the team on the cam there. Love to see it. I can't tell what's in the background of his camera though. Who is that?
I believe that would be Elf.
Buddy
Yeah.
the Elf! Thank you, Stewie. Where's y'all's Christmas spirit? Wesley's asking in chat. Is maybe taking this a little lighthearted, but Rachel all locked in, all GGs ready to go. See how that affects them going on in the series. Now, Maulers won that game, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, Maulers up 1-0 in the series. Get into game number 2 here. Bloomington wins the kickoff. Mogi opportunity shut down immediately. Maulers coming out aggressive, taking 50s, taking demos, but all staying in their own half. Big whiff coming out around the corner. I'll leave Comet with a counterattack, possibly. Pinch. Wesley couldn't quite read the bounce off the corner of that wall there. Awkward pass back, save. I don't know what's going on. It's a little chaotic so far as a big pass. I feel like that was a great assist from Derecho to Wesley to score for Bloomington.
You also gotta see that Wolf just accidentally hit it back there, and again, that's just punishments. You can't be hitting it randomly to no one.
Yeah, for sure. 30 seconds in, see another early goal here. Wonder if that's gonna continue in this series. Clear out past 1. Wesley can have full boost off the ceiling, but cut off by Wolf. Now, Comet trying to double off the corner. Missed that one out. The midfield, watered out in the air. Goes under 1 with the reset, but Mogi, his communication gets the bump, but it's just not fast enough. So random pinch off the sidewall. 3 people goes in. Are we gonna keep seeing goals like this over and over?
As much as I'd love to see high goal games, I kind of want to see all of those team plays coming out. That was just a random 50 that found its way in there.
But yeah, not quite sure what's going on in these defenses, but still getting relatively even games. So we continue going on. Rachel, first attack off the kickoff. We force back to their end, but immediately save speed made. Water clears the corner. Mogi tries to get it mid. No one's there to follow. Yeah, free ball for Comet. Air dribble it backwards off his own sidewall. Give Water a free possession off the sidewall. It's a reset. Fakes it out for 50 with Wesley is now Mogi, Wolf, and Wesley all chasing this ball back to the corner. Just gonna fly mid soft, and now Comet gonna have to collect. Big pinch coming out. Good read on that. Comet taking it up the wall. Said Bloomington, free possession as nobody from Derecho wants to go. Comet, air dribble bump. Wesley going with him for the bump. Now, over and over, we're seeing Bloomington with these bump plays. You think bumps are something Derecho could incorporate into their play?
I would absolutely love to see it. There's always that one person that's just kind of sitting back a little bit too far that they can definitely take out of the play.
Going to it once again. Big save come out. Double save from Water, just floating in front of that ball. Mogi tries to pass it mid, but Zodak is waiting patiently. It's at around one, pops it high. Comic in a 50 low for Wesley. Gonna have to make a save off his back wall. Zodak again trying to take this to the wall, popped high. Wolf waiting backward for it now.
And that's
Mogi,
just an open net
potential
over
open
here.
net. There's two people up. The pass middle just isn't fast enough. Now, Derecho gonna have to retreat for this ball. It's almost a long goal coming out. Instead, saved away safely by Derecho. Ball still bouncing high in midfield. Not quite getting clears out. Just taking a 50. Mogi with a free ball and boost. This is how he scored in the first game twice. Gets the reset, but forces two to commit. At least starts the boost out for the next attack. That ball just finding its way middle, but the shot not coming through. But final. I can't think of a word. I was in the middle of my sentence. And anyway, Bloomington's gonna save me from that embarrassment by scoring a goal that you can analyze.
I mean, there's not too much to analyze. They're just all looking to be on defense, and just some miscommunication or something. No one goes up in time.
Nope. Bloomington with a lead now. 4 minutes in, 1 minute left to go. It's the possession off the kickoff. Going for a corner double immediately. But saved away is now Comet tasked with keeping this in. Not quite able to find it. Here's coming out from Derecho down the sidewall. Got it all the way to the backboard, but then no follow-up for a shot. Gonna give Wesley a free clear back the other way. Water just, I don't know if he didn't read that or if he thought someone was behind him, but it looked like he could have done better with that one there.
I think he just expected Wolf to rotate directly back to the net, and I think it's just a miscommunication again. Feels like these teams are definitely having a lot of fun. I don't know if they're really trying to win this one, though. They're just
Well.
kind of all over the field.
Everyone's always trying to win, right? It's just how hard you're trying to win. Especially this Christmas spirit, they're in the spirit of giving away goals, right?
Absolutely. Maybe in previous games, they'll hold those presents a little bit closer to themselves, but they still have time to come back in this now with a one-goal game randomly.
What? I don't know what I'm watching. I thought Bloomington got the demo, they got a bump. All they gotta do is tap it in, and nobody's there to tap it in. All of a sudden, it's a 3v none the other way. It's a crazy game, but Derecho's still in this one. Only one goal left to come back. Bloomington taking good 50s, killing time. Good pass sideways. Force an awkward save from Mogi, who doinks it over two. Zodak all the way in net, gonna have to kill this time with 3 seconds left. Can they keep it up? Pops in middle to Mogi. Mogi backflips, and Wesley just fakes that one out for Mahler's game number 2 win.
And looking at these games, now Mahler's 2 up. It's going to be really hard to just reset the mental, but at the same time, I think that Derecho's just having a good time, and if they can just start laughing with the goals instead of at the goals, they can definitely take this one.
You know, and I know the first game, most of 2 of the 3 Derecho goals came from Mogi solo plays, and I'm wondering if Wolf and Water scored 2 in this game, but I feel like they were team plays, you know. some passing involved. There was some awkward 50 on the goal on the sidewall that just randomly went in. They weren't really like planned goals, you know? I'm wondering when Wolf and Water are gonna step up, try and do something on the offensive end for themselves, you know?
Yeah, and outside of Mogi being able to really get those solo plays, everything just falls into the both sides of the net this game. So truly, I think both teams just got to go back to basics. Just got to make sure that they're hitting the ball well, finding their teammates, and it should be an easy game if they can do those.
Yeah. Hitting the ball, that's all you gotta do. You were joking about it before we started the cast, but honestly, I feel like it's true that if they just hit the ball, that it'll go well. And a lot of the times, you're going so fast, taking 50s. I don't know, like Wolf, he's the 1v3 last back, still finds a way to beat two players. Now, Comet's turned the other way, saved away by Water. Again, awkward 50 in the midfield, just gonna find its way on net. Mogi up for Wolf's pass, has the boost but running out, gets one reset under one over another. Last second save by Wesley, gonna clear it to the corner. Almost another heroic solo play. Ed goes back to the midfield where we get another chance. Not quite on net. Wolf now double off the corner. Some more pressure on Bloomington. Some missed touch by Wesley. Just saved away by Comet. Now, Mogi, great shot. Gets the reset. Cleared away, but only as far as Water. The pressure just building and building for Bloomington here, CT.
Yeah, and that's an insane flip reset. Got enough momentum to beat out two of the defenders, and then Water just getting to, again, shoot basically an open net.
Love to see the open nets wherever you go. Another offensive opportunity quick. 50 away to the corner. Mogi full boost off the sidewall, trying to make something happen. Can't quite. Kodak missing the clear. All the Wesleys in a one-on-one. Mogi challenges quick. Water just back in time to clear this one out. Now, big whiff coming out from Mogi. Water and Wolf commit to save that one away. Water, great individual play. Kill some time. Get Wolf up with boost. Bloomington still finding some pressure in the ratio half. Water just ends up clearing it to nobody. Comet gonna take over. Wesley able, not quite able to shoot, another miss. Everybody on Derecho jumping for a ball that isn't even being shot yet.
At the same time, you gotta respect the shot. If that came out, that would have been an easy goal, and it's just a tactical fake at this point.
All tactical fakes coming out. We love to see them. Big one-on-one starting with the fake. Tactical fake coming off the kickoff. Didn't quite convert it. Mogi, great back pass to Water, potentially. Wesley left in a 2v1 against Wolf. Or 1v2 as the demo comes out. Comet great clear to the ceiling, but Water reads it, cuts that one off. Another Wesley clear to the ceiling. Water once again clears it off the ceiling. There's a midfield back and forth. You know, keep hitting this ball high. I'm wondering, when are we going to see another ground goal?
I don't think that we're gonna have to wait too long with how these games have been going out. I really want to see Mogi just with the ball again. They're doing such good solo plays up in that air that I think they can really just win it in the air instead of on the ground.
That's fair. What do you think Bloomington's key to success is then? If Derecho's key is Mogi solo plays. How's Bloomington going to win this series, even though they're already winning 2-0 in games?
I think they just gotta keep on what they're doing. They're just waiting for the mistakes to come out, and they're coming out. They're just playing solid-ish, and that's enough. That's all that they really need.
Wolf trying his shot at a solo play. Mogi gonna cut that one off the ceiling. What a good double middle. No. Wolf's turn off the corner to Mogi. Mogi with a reset on the ball gets it. Couldn't quite shoot it. Used all 100 boosts to try and get that one around on net. Wolf in the air. Tries to beat out Comet, but good free jump to save. Now 50 in the corner, gonna fly out middle. Zodak wins that the other side. As open net opportunity hits it just wide. Mogi a little lackadaisical getting back there. Left an opportunity is now 50 on net. Only Wolf pre-jumping in net. Has to pre-jump twice, but still gets the save out. Still at a tie game here. Tactical fake. Doesn't quite work. Wolf trying to collect this ball in his own corner. Ends up passing it middle, going for a bump. But ball pops high. Free clear out to the Bloomington end. Ends up clearing it right back. Back and forth once again. Comet now. He's got the full boost off the ceiling. Great dunk out. Cleared down. An opportunity for Derecho. Mogi trying for a solo play on the ground. Water only 25 boosts here. Leaves it for Mogi. Good fake. Good communication from the Maulers. Good shot coming out. Mogi couldn't find the bump on net. Finds the demo just a little too late. Ball's still in the air. Is there an opportunity here? Wesley clears it to the corner. Wolf will keep it up. Hits the ball middle over two, but no follow-up yet. Ball still bounces up. Wesley taps it middle, and Comet's going to keep it alive. Mogi keeps it on the corner. Finally, ball going to go down at 0 seconds, and we have our second overtime of the series. Take off pressure coming out. The Derecho trying to counterattack. Bloomington passing ball mid. Ooh, Mogi goes for that pinch, just misses it. Dangerous with those. Oh, Wolf gets it by 2, but lands with no boost. It's the boost steal, but no offensive pressure yet. Except Wolf proving me wrong, getting a reset over 1 and water, causing chaos in the net. Wolf finally stepping up with a solo play of his own.
And we've been talking about Mogi's solo plays. I didn't know Wolf had it in him. That was... I don't know if I can save that ever, even if I know that's coming.
Definitely.
He also saw a little bump in the net as well.
Lots of power, lots of good teamwork with that bump. Now we see series going 2-1 in favor of the Maulers. Derecho winning game 3 2-1. And you know, I'm not seeing too many interesting storylines in the stats either. What is that? 8 shots for Derecho, 5 for Maulers. They both have 4 saves. Seems like pretty relatively even game so far. Just a lot of back and forth action. What do you think one of these teams needs to do to like break out, step up, like prove they're the better team?
You know what? Honestly, I think that Derecho really has those potentials to be the better team right now, and they're showing it on those solo plays, but they're not finding each other. I want to see some insane passing plays over there, and I think they immediately have the games.
Are you saying Bloomington can't do the passing plays?
I'm saying that the solo plays are just too good from the other side. If they somehow start finding each other instead of trying to find the back of the net immediately, those goals are going to come in way faster.
We'll see. Is Mogi right off the kickoff, full boost. Good pre-jump out from Wesley. Not going to find an attack of their own. Cleared right back into the Bloomington end. Mogi again trying to get it off the ceiling. Gets one reset, gets a good 50. But demo out, the shot just high, bounces over the crossbar. Big counterattack coming, but Water and Mogi double commit on this ball in the air. Gonna leave Wolf last back. Can't quite follow his own touch. Tries for the bump, but cleared out by Comet. Now, Water going for a 50 off his back ball. Keeping it slow, keeping it in the corner. Comet now finds the loose ball up to Spodak, tries to pre-jump the pass. Pass just not as fast as he thought it would be. Again, faking 2 out, getting this ball middle, but Shot just wide, trying to avoid the defender. Good bump on the backboard. Water trying to dunk a touch that never came out. Bloomington gonna get out, get a 50 at the midfield. Got boost, they got time for this counterattack. Mogi just cuts it off immediately. Now, potential passing play. Water takes the pass, gets the flick high over the last defender. And, you know, why pass if the solo plays keep working?
Well, I think they're just trying to shut me up right now. I think they want to show that solo plays are the way to win the series.
Yeah, maybe they will be. Never know. Still got a deficit to come back from, but Moki faking 2 with that reset. Getting it low, but not the pinch. Bloomington, Comet seems to be sitting up in front of the ball a lot. Maybe they're trying to find that outward cherry picker pass. Leading to a couple counterattack opportunities for Derecho, especially when they get 50s like that in the midfield. Then Comet gonna get over one, shot just high. Wesley will keep it in, but only as far as Moogie gives them a free ball, but Comet puts it right at Wolf sitting on that backboard. Almost gets it around the third Bloomington defender on the counterattack. Instead, the passing play coming out and a great shot from Wesley over the last defender coming off that pass from Comet.
Yeah, and that's just a great redirect. He sees Wolfen going up and just knows he can immediately beat him there.
Halfway through this game, all tied up. Wesley with the first attack. And off the corner. Coming out to Zodak, who hits it back middle, but Comet choosing not to commit for that is giving Mogi the free flip reset in the midfield. Might not be the play. Flutter getting it high. Comet jumping, taking the ball to the ground, trying to kill some time. Teammates to get back. Has middle shot coming out, and Mogi panics a little. Stops it on the goal line, but no follow-up from Bloomington right away. They're coming out. Off the sidewall middle, passes it up to Water. Water just gonna drop that ball. Comet's turn here for a Bloomington attack. Wolf cuts it off, and it's just an open net. Did he miss? He hits it off the post. Oh no! Go ahead goal squandered away. Now, are they gonna get another open net opportunity like that again?
You know, those really should never come, especially right now. I thought the teams were both warmed up by now, but you can't count on them. You can't count on them for your goals.
Now, Bloomington trying to make something happen. Comet triple touch off the corner. He passes it mid, but nobody there but Mogi gets the mid boost. Not able to make a play happen. Bloomington counterattack, pass middle, cut out. Good defensive rotation by Mogi. Good demo by Mogi. Wolf taking the ball up the sidewall. The shot finds its way in the top of the net. Now Derecho taking the lead in game number 4.
I mean, I didn't even see that one coming out. I think the tactical fakes on the side of the Maulers just backfired a little bit there.
Just a little bit. You can't tactically fake if you're last in net, right?
I mean, at the same time, it was a great shot. Hard to save. I love just saying tactical fakes, though.
You know, can't blame you. They're fun to watch. But got 30 seconds left in this game. Bloomington got to make something happen to come back here, but Mogi trying not to let him. Gets it by 2. Bump out. Wolf with a free ball in the corner. Saved away. Now Wesley, long ball downfield. No offense coming from it so far. Zodak beats 2 on that aerial challenge. Wolf taps the ball middle. Can he find the angle? Wesley couldn't get the power. Ball's still dangerous in the midfield. Pass middle to Comet. Just late to getting to it. Opts to take it off the sidewall with full boost. One backboard. Can he 50 it? Ball's gonna fall down, and Derecho gonna take game number 4 and tie us up in the series, CG.
I truly see this going the distance. I think that both teams are now warming up. The Maulers are feeling comfortable on their rotations, just not quite getting the goals with it. The ratio, they're just solo plays are finding the back of the net.
Yeah. Hoping to see some more flips this game. Need some more solo plays to go in that look a little flashier, I think. No, Water with that great dribble play, but I don't know how good it looks on the Twitch highlights. And, you know, for as much fun as we're saying Derecho's having, every time I look back at the cams, Wolf looks so serious, so stoic, listening intently to what Mogi and Water are saying.
And I know from personal experience, those cameras rarely show what's happening in the comms. Sometimes it's just a lot of laughter during the matches, and then you're kind of just sitting there for a minute in between.
Yeah. Fair enough. You gotta wait for Stewie the streamer to ready up between each match, so gotta kill time somehow. Getting into game number 5. Just a best of 3 left to play. Best of 7 is tied at 2-2. Water going for a double off the backboard immediately. Could have been the clip I was looking for. I think I drank my water too fast, and now I have the hiccups. This is awkward. But we continue nonetheless with shot coming out. Wesley 50 back to his own end. Zodak big clear up to Wesley. Trying to get the air dribble bump, pops middle, but no follow-up shot coming through. Leave Water to clear this one out with no boost. Comet waiting for it. Takes control, tries to pass it mid, but cut off by Mogi. Take it off his own corner. 50 that ball off the sidewall. Now, opportunity for Bloomington, big double touch. Couldn't get it down on net. Now, Wesley's turn off the ceiling. Cleared away by Wolf. Now Comet. He's trying to get these solo plays. Looking a lot like Mogi out here. But nothing connecting so far. Third defender for Bloomington. Misses the ball. A shot opportunity. Saved away as Wesley and Comet both commit for that. Now, I don't know. Is Comet that guy to do the solo plays for Bloomington? If that's what's working for Derecho?
I mean, he sure is trying. He's getting really, really close. And when that happens, Mogi just shows that he is not. Mogi is the person. Comet cannot up him up. Flip over one and the dunk on the third defender. I've never seen something that clean.
Mogi just continues goal after goal, showing how good he is at Rocket League. Water calling Wolf off that mid boost to go for a play of his own, but gonna fall back to Wolf. Fall back to Mogi middle. Not just wide as now Water. A great touch middle. Mogi's gonna dunk that one in. I thought there was no way that was getting through 2 defenders.
Yeah, I mean, that third defender did have the save. Mogi just says, absolutely not. We are putting this one in.
Now, 2 minutes into the game, and Derecho with a quick 2-goal lead. See if they can continue. Mogi another play beats out 2. Wolf and Water both just waiting back for the Bloomington clear on net. Gonna force the double commit. Gonna force the follow-up shot. The pre-jump from the goalie doesn't connect because the shot doesn't connect. I believe possession still in Derecho's hands. Gonna go for a bump play. Bump doesn't find its mark. Now counterattack from Bloomington, finally getting out of their end. Shut down immediately on the corner. A good 50 from Mogi, gonna force Bloomington to take possession in their own end. Comet gets it over 2. Can't find a shot yet. Ball pops out to Zodak, but Wesley awkward on that rotation back in. No shot coming out. Now Zodak dribble play, gets a round 1, gets the fake wide of the net, cuts it back in at the last second. Great individual solo play on the ground from Zodak. That's what
That
we
was
love to
just
see.
beautiful. He had so much open space in that middle, and he just worked it perfectly. Faked out the first one, and just said, Mogi, I saw that you can 50 at the net. I'll just try it again, and got the score.
More offensive pressure coming out from Derecho. Keeping this ball in. Wesley taking a 50 in his corner. Water trying to get it around. Balls back to Mogi with full boost at the midfield, but Comet, good dunk, good Breezy, good 50. This ball's sitting on the goal line, but what a recovery. Gonna find an open net the other way. He can't convert it, can he? Christmas Comet and Zodak the Snowman combining together to stop it. What is happening? Open net for both teams, it felt like.
It just stayed on that line too long, and Water almost had it all the way back, but I think just slightly misflipped and just could not get the right touch on it at the end.
Minute left. Maulers still need to find another goal to tie this game up. Wolf and Water waiting back at that midfield line, keeping this ball in. Mogi gonna try a shot. Can be cleared away. Wesley misses the second touch. Water a pinch opportunity. Big demos in the net from Mogi, causing chaos up there.
And again, Mogi is just that. He's just making all these plays happen. It's a beautiful shot on net, but Mogi just takes out any chance of that being saved.
Double demo. We'd love to see it. Give them that insurance goal back. Up 3-1 in game number 5. It's ball off the kickoff, off the ceiling. It's saved away just too high. Now Wesley struggling to clear that away. Shot goes off the top of the post and the crossbar. Fly back out. Bloomington. Offensive pressure here. Try and find its way back middle. Big miss on the clear from Mogi, but it was just a fake recover on the sidewall. And a fake wolf out. And that cut infield. The awkward opportunity. Wesley and Comet now double committed in the corner, and this ball cleared all the way back down off of one double commit from Bloomington.
And you can't really fault Bloomington at all here. They're 2 goals down. You got to make something happen. It's just unfortunate touch out to the side where Water ain't missing that one.
10 seconds left. This last game being 4-1. Time left to come back. Gonna see Derecho take it to match point here against Bloomington in our first semi-final match. Do you think they have what it takes to take it in 6?
I mean, with the momentum right now, they just look unstoppable. They've won the last 3, and with the Maulers, you're sitting there. How are we gonna get goals? And they just can't capitalize on anything.
We'll see Comet and Zodak both even the match for the card change. You think that'll make an impact? Are you a big placebo guy?
We'll probably see going into the land. I really don't think the card matters. I think that you can be in about anything and you'll play just the same.
I believe the server just crashed and died. So you're gonna have to wait on Dewey, the streamer, to get that back up, hopefully soon. But we see the stats from the last match there on the screen that just changed. But Derecho had a lot of offensive pressure. There you go. With 13 shots to Bloomington's 5, 6. So I'm hoping that'll continue, hoping they keep the momentum, the pressure up as they go into this game number 6, because they've won the last 3 games in a row. The Maulers started this series up 2-0, and seems like, where did they go? What happened?
Yeah, and I think it's purely just they were starting to try to warm up, and they won those warm-up games, and they're just not winning the battle once both teams are ready. Now, truly, I just want to see the Maulers just, again, go back to those basics and make sure that they're getting it good touches to their teammates, getting it downfield. Because if they let Wolf, Water, or Mogi get the ball on those solo plays, they've all three shown that they can just put it in the back.
And I believe the lobby's back up here. I don't know if it's the same info for him. But it is the same info. Thank you for confirming. So we'll get all the casters, all the players back into it. Playing on, is this Neo Tokyo for map 6? Has that always been a thing?
Yep, it's always Neo Tokyo.
Ooh, exciting. And, you know, I feel like we've talked about this whole Mogi solo play dynamic. We saw the one Wolf single flip reset, game number 4, I believe. Do you think Water's going to be capable of something like that? Think we'll get one from him in the series?
Well, I think he has to now. We've seen the solo play from both Wolf and Mogi, so he's the last one to show how flip resets can go into the back of the net. Although he has been scoring a few goals. He has a lot of the runaway goals that are going in from him.
Oh yeah. And we have left the match once again. Uh-oh. Lobby trouble. Is it Rocket League side? I don't know. But we're still just killing time. We're still here talking. We got all 9 players in the match, in the lobby. I think we're ready to go. Go, go, go. As save rosters, you see on the screen, 3-2 in favor of Derecho in the series so far. We're going into game number 6. Derecho on match point. Wesley getting the first chance for Bloomington off that back wall. He popped high for the save, but Zodak keeping the pressure is now. Comet off the sidewall, pops in middle, but Wesley opting not to commit, instead bumps on the rotation back in the air. Mogi, another good demo on the third man. Might lead to a counterattack chance. Good 50 out from Wolf. Another demo attempt from Mogi. But just not quite connecting there. Mogi stopped his demo rampage to come back for the ball, but immediately 50'd out in midfield. He all the way back in his own corner, taking the ball high, cut off immediately. Fall to Comet, see what he could do. Tries to pass across to Wesley. Zodak actually comes back from opponent's corner. Loses that challenge. Wolf off the ceiling, not able to find a shot. So far, first minute has passed and no real good opportunities so far as you see.
Yeah, and as you say that, the ball's just kind of sitting there. But I think the Maulers are just kind of not getting anything. It's staying in their half, and I don't know, with how it looks right now, I think Derecho is just going to win it right here.
I'm not even sure how much of that was intentional, but got it around the last defender nonetheless. Not quite on net. Now, ball staying in this corner, lots of 50s. Ball finally flies mid, but saved away is now. Zodak on the counterattack, can't find the dome. He cleared back, a big miss on the backboard from Wesley. Leave Derecho with some pressure here. Good bumps on these rotations out from Derecho. Demo's getting bumps, making it awkward. Still waiting for that first goal, first good opportunity to come now. Perhaps middle, Water and Mogi both jumped for the block, but no shot coming through. Now
And the bump?
Wolf almost bumped out by Comet. Ball flying to the other end. Double touch opportunity, and Comet's not gonna miss that one. Finally, Bloomington on the board first.
And you gotta love how this play comes out. Wesley's just looking for that bump at Wolf, and even though he doesn't get it, it doesn't matter. You see the solo play just perfectly under the bar.
Halfway through this game number 6, yeah, there's Water's flip reset. Tries for that bottom right corner, but saved away by the third and last defender. Good communication there from Derecho. Figure out who's on the ball and who's got the boost. Still on defense here, sitting in their corner. Comet trying to get it mid. Zodak comes in to put it mid, but Wesley already rotated all the way back. A good double off his own backboard to keep it in the corner. Keeping possession. So now Zodak going for a shot. Would have loved to see a pass there potentially. But continue with Derecho breaking out of their own end. Good 50, but possession falls just in favor of Bloomington. Then another challenge in the midfield. Got a big double commit. Comet and Wesley jumping all the way to the ceiling. They use a lot of boost for their team. Come all the way back to their net, and Moki with a great dunk. Knows they're low. He knows he's just got to make a touch. Gives it right back to them. Follows it up.
That's gotta really hurt the Maulers. They've been playing some excellent Rocket League this game. They really came back from what they looked like last time.
You know, now
With the pressure though, they might just equalize it.
1 minute left to tie game here. More 50s coming out in the Derecho end. Mogi popped to himself off the sidewall, but I don't know, just to make a play out of it. All the Wolf tries that long shot. Wesley gonna have to catch it on his own backboard. Pinch mid, big double commit. Zodak taking possession, but no boost to follow it well. Trying to fake out water on the challenge there. No good clear coming out from Derecho yet. Bloomington still got some pressure here. Can't find the pass mid, and now Mogi taking a 50 out. Good back pass from Comet, but again, all three Derecho players waiting in their end, letting Bloomington throw them the ball, and waiting for the counterattack. Wolf again on his backboard, 10 seconds left. Got bunked on the clear, but no threatening opportunities from Bloomington. Ball gonna pinch all the way back to the corner, and Comet's just gonna let it drop for overtime. Immediately getting into it. Derecho, water on the wall with full boost. 50 past 1. Zodak's turn with time. Beats 1 on the ground. 50 on the second. Now, Wesley and Comet both wanting to go for that ball. Neither one getting a great touch. Comet back around his own corner. Touches high. Drops it down to Zodak. Zodak has a chance. Goes for the 50 in the air dribble. Comet pops it over 3, but couldn't quite find the shot off that pass. You liking this more now that there's a few more passes going on, it seems?
Yeah, I think that the Maulers are just looking way better, but it might be too much too late, as they're looking at game point right now. If they don't get this goal, they're done.
.50's coming out. Wesley tries for a shot off the ceiling. He cleared away, but only as far as Zodak. Pre-jump, but Zodak goes underneath him. Wesley gets a demo in net. Comet on the backboard. What's he gonna do? Tries to drop it down. Cut off. No. Zodak trying to play the miss. Wolf, good read. No shot opportunities yet. Comet trying on his own to get it around 3 players. Ball's gonna come all the way back to Bloomington's end. Now, double commit from Derecho in the midfield. Wolf's low on boost. Kills enough time. Just barely. Now, Mogi an opportunity. Got that mid boost. Got the sidewall. Gets a 50 in the air. Couldn't beat that first man. Good read right away. Now, clear coming out for Bloomington. Mogi having to make a save to the side as Waters turn to try and 50, but Comet gets it around 1, gets it around 2, the fast middle, and Wesley just does not read that ball correctly. No shot gonna come out from it now. Derecho struggling a little bit on defense here. A few shots coming out. Finally get it clear to the Bloomington end. Good dunk to keep it in, keep some pressure. No follow-up shot, just going to be cleared all the way back. All that hard work undone. 2.5 minutes into overtime. What do you think? Who's going to score? What's going to be the difference?
Well, I really want to see that Game 7. I think the Maulers definitely now look like the better team. They just have to prove it. Again, they've got to be really nervous right now because one goal sends them out of this major.
What do you think's going to be the difference? It's going to be a passing play? Going to be a Comet solo play? Going to be a demo like that?
As Wolf showed, I think it's going to be in those demos plays. They've scored, I think, almost 4 goals in the past 3 games based on those. I really think that's the difference. Or Mogi can just show me up right here.
Almost called it. Got by 1 with that flip reset. But now it's Waters' turn. Gets the ball high over 2. Can you read the ball down? No. Gets saved away by the defender. A Hawkford ball. Who's going to save it? Comet just back in time. No boost on his own corner. Ball's going to be popped high by Wolf. One more touch. Wesley going to clear it away. Committing his third, but winning that 50. Getting the corner boost under 2. Just saved away off the near post. Wesley trying with his counterattack off the ceiling, going for a dunk. Not quite getting there. So now Zodak. His turn off the corner, passing in middle. Comet with a shot, but Water waiting patiently. Now, one more time. Wesley trying to get it mid, but one extra touch beats out his teammate, unfortunately. Rachel still staying alive. This ball just going back and forth across their net. Wesley once again to the sidewall. Mogi gets it back middle, back across the other side of the field. Finally, opportunity to break out on that one dunk. Comet just takes it right back, full boost, air dribble across the whole map. Give a shot opportunity. Back and forth and back and forth. And it feels like everyone's stopped. I don't want to say stop trying, but I feel like they aren't going for these passing plays. They're just going for big solo plays. But that's how it ends. That's the series.
Sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. Mogi finding that just far side of the net. Thunder just can't find it.
Yep. I thought this another 50 in the corner. We've seen 1 million of them in this game and 10 million in this series. There's no way this goes in. But Mogi just perfect placement, bottom right. That's gonna do it for the series. The derecho are gonna take it 4-2 after taking that last game. I left the match too quick, so I didn't see the stats. But another long overtime here on stream. We're getting at least one a series. And I don't remember who plays next. Do you remember?
It's gonna be Chicago versus St. Cloud.
Yeah, there you go. How could I forget? That's my own team playing. So we got derecho in the grand finals of our major. They're gonna play the winner of that. Okay, I'll stall for a little bit as per requested by Stewie. We have Des Moines derecho in the grand finals. I feel like they came out in that series, they won 2 games, and I thought, this could be a sweep for the Maulers. Do you think anything big changed for Des Moines? In that game 3? What happened?
No, I think that just both teams came in a little cold, and while they're warming up, Maulers took both of them. I think by the end of that, the Maulers actually looked the better team, but they couldn't prove it, and they just lost it before they had a chance to.
And the last words. I'm saying words. We got Chicago Jungle. My brain is not working on 100% right now, I've gone through 3 bottles of water in these last 2 series. And honestly, I can't wait to see more. We've had some great series so far. And that one was no different. We got the stats up on the screen from that last game in the series. you can see pretty similar. Derecho getting more shots. I think it's somewhat backwards though. I don't know entirely. But
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at the scoreboard middle of those games, the ratio really came out with a lot of shots in the beginning, but Mullers brought it back and then just could not find a shot in OT. They looked so good, but just weren't able to get anything together.
and see, I really want to talk about this next matchup, Jungle and Flyers. Like, I'm too excited for it. So we got Chicago. They came into this playoffs today of the major. They could have finished anywhere from third to ninth, and so far they are eighth, and they need to win one more, and they'll shoot up to, I believe, fourth in the play-in seeding. So this is a big game for the Jungle. Also, Flyers, they're my team playing with a sub because I'm unable to play. And I really think Prussia is one of those players in Challenger, like we saw with Stratus, that could play in Premier and do fairly well. So we got 2 Challenger sub ups coming up for the next series. And I hope we're going to a break because, like I said, I had a lot of water. I really have to pee. So. DTN, any final thoughts on that last series? Any thoughts on the series coming up?
Oh, well, I got a lot of thoughts on the series coming up as, Flyers Rising Star, but I think it should be some fun games. Definitely was funny watching Premier games, trying to analyze as a Rising Star player, but
You did good. You did good.
it was some fun games. We saw some good Rocket League.
Sounds good. Well, thank you guys for watching that first semifinal. We got the second semifinal coming up soon, so don't go anywhere. Something like that.
short intermission, ladies and gentlemen, but we have got some more Rocket League ahead of us. Bubbly and I are still here. We're still kicking, still ready to play some Rocket League. Should be a blast. We don't get to play, though. We get to watch. But we saw in that last series, Des Moines take down Bloomington. A big win for Des Moines as they are impacting their play-in seeding. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bubbly. That is how that works.
Yeah.
But
So with that win, they just shot up to 3rd place.
dang, they're getting some points now. That's huge. And now with, of course, Jungle and Flyers coming up next. That's the one that's next on our slate. That is the second semifinal. The winner playing Derecho in the final, Bubbly. Looking at the schedule and the bracket, obviously you're a part of the Flyers. You should be playing here. But what do you think?
You know, I think Prussia's got this. You know,
I think
he's just about as good of a challenger
Speaking of
as you
Prussia,
can ask
starting
for.
lineups for the St. Cloud Flyers and the Jungle. We're still seeing the same 3 Jungle, obviously, but a different, obviously, Prussia subbing in for the injured U. I think he's got this too. I really do. I have confidence in him. His past Premier experience, and he fits well with this roster, with how they play.
Yeah, and the other thing I do want to mention is that Chicago, if they win this, they would be in uppers and play-ins. And if they lose, they're in lowers and play-ins. They would kick down Mankato Atlas. So, I'm hoping that Chicago loses this just because Flyers are my team, but also because Fishy on Mankato. Gotta show some love for the brother. Hope he starts in uppers and play-ins so I can play him, of course.
Obviously, and Stratus getting prepared with Chicago and St. Cloud, but we are ready to get this one underway. The second semifinal is aboard us. Everybody joining into the lobby. And Bubbly, your team playing here for a major final spot. Can they get it done? We'll see. As St. Cloud and Jungle, game number 1, best of 7. Gonna put 5 minutes on that clock.
Right into it. 10 seconds in. Some midfield battle, but Boggs able to take possession, beat out one corner. Another thing I forgot to mention when we talked about this is Vogs and Remzik all joined the league at the same time. They were all kind of a friend group. They all joined Brainerd last season. Then Vogs split up with them this season. Where Remzik and N found their way back together on Jungle. Maybe that chemistry is why this Chicago Jungle roster's been doing so good. But immediately, great save coming out. How did he get that one out?
I do not know, because that was incredible. A massive save coming out, of course. And I mean, that's uncanny from N that he makes that. A great shot though from Prussia to put it on target. And now you have to think, you know, if that goes in, you see a pop-off potentially for the Flyers. But you know, going back to their quarterfinal series against Green Bay, they were down 2-0 in Game 7 with 2 minutes left. They bring it back and they win that Game 7. Bubbly, talk to me about the resilience your team has shown this season.
Oh, it's incredible, but gonna need some more resilience there. His pass off the ceiling from Remzik was beautiful. Little assist from Prussia maybe, but End finds the back of the net. But going back to this season, the resilience, you know, our game differential is 3rd highest, even though at one point we were in like 5th or 6th. So but also maybe going to Game 5 or Game 7 with some teams we shouldn't.
And obviously, I think you cut out on that was my fault though, as my focus rate continues to be killing me, as I'm gonna have to check the cord or something, because it seems to be faulty or I don't know, but overall it just DC'd again on me. But so far only the 1 goal for Chicago, as St. Cloud have had a couple touches go away from them and escape from them, as Vogs and Prussia both miss. Prussia downfield, looking for one more touch, maybe a drop as Trash bumps Remzik out of the way, but good save from End as he covers it up. Stratus off the ceiling, that shot's towards net, but Prussia has the save, and sub steps up there. Gotta get one more save as Great follow-up. Stratus kind of hits it backwards, and Fogs is over there, collects the midfield boost, and that's one thing that, yeah, you talked about Fogs and Remzik all on Brainerd last season. All were, obviously didn't, amount to much at the end of the season. Is this an open net, but Fogs can't turn it in, hits the the crossbar and doesn't go in. Is Trash gonna have to turn on this, gets a follow-up shot. It goes bar down, but he reads it anyway, and able to get that one in. As St. Cloud had a bunch of chances, Bubbly, and they are able to get it through.
I was gonna say, I think Trash rotated too wide going for that mid boost when he could have just scored the goal, but what do I know? He comes in, he still beats all three of Chicago, floundering on the goal line. No boost. Great initial play from Boggs to beat them all. Again, putting these balls high, making it awkward for Chicago, and right now it looks like they don't have an answer.
And obviously, you're looking at this. Bubbly is Prussia, the step-up player, the one who has to sub up from challenge. And I think that overall, he's going to have to impact this series heavily, but he already has a ton of points and a ton of opportunities.
I think you're cutting out again. But
Cam this time that's doing it is, I think I'm still good. I think I'm still here, but it's my Cam that keeps doing it, and I think that this game has been pretty even, but overall Chicago has had a lot of pressure, but St. Cloud has had a lot of pressure too. Your team obviously doing pretty well on offense here, Bob.
yeah, I know they scrimmed a couple times with Prussia this week, but from what I was told, they lost every single game they scrimmed. So I was a little worried, but then, they beat Green Bay Knights. I heard from other people, yeah, Prussia and Trash, they're working great together. Logs and Trash almost finding the passing play. Another stat we forgot to mention is Trash is the top assists in all of Premier, and St. Cloud also as a team most assists of all of Premier. So definitely that team play, the passing that I'd like to see, forcing the goals together instead of the solo plays we saw last series with Mogi.
I mean, we will see solo plays, I think, Bubbly, but we won't see as many as that Des Moines series, because that Des Moines series was a lot of opportunities for those teams. That's going to go off the backboard. Stratus might have owned Golden Fox, gets it anyway, and Remzik and Stratus kind of gave St. Cloud a free one there. They set it up for him.
You got
Oh,
15
man.
seconds left and it's high game. All you have to do is not panic. And there's two people that panic. Hit the ball backwards. It's rough to see.
Indeed, and now in this game, what needs to happen? Boggs, 5 seconds left. Can he kill it down to the ground? Can he be the guy to do that? He looks to be the person to do that. As this ball, Trash looking to kill it and keeps it up. It's still up momentarily for the Chicago Jungle, but Trash has it in their corner trying to kill it down. Maybe he's done it. He has. St. Cloud takes game number 1.
Yeah. St. Cloud did take game number 1. They got scored on first, got a little nervous, and then all of a sudden the shots went from 3-0 in favor of Jungle, and Jungle did not get another shot after that, and Flyers instead got 12 of their own. So that pressure really flipped in that middle of the game while we were dealing with some of the caster issues, but it really felt like Prussia made an impact that game. I know that one goal that Trash scored, he had a great bump on the goal line, so he couldn't get back to it. And I know he had one save that I remember. I don't remember if he had more. Oh, you got the stats on screen. He had a save. There you go.
Yeah. 5 shots for Trash and 4 for Prussia. That's important. Seeing Prussia there in the offense, that's absolutely massive, because the fact that he gets a shot, Bubbly, or gets 4 shots on the board and is able to put, St. Cloud in a good offensive position, that is absolutely huge, because, he's not sitting back. He's involved in the offense. He's pressing St. Cloud forward. He's giving them chances that he's stepped up really for me, but Trash obviously impactful in that game, but it's a team effort at the end of the day, and St. Cloud understands that.
Yeah. the team we love to see, we love to cheer for, but I do want to talk about Chicago on the other side, because I feel like last game we didn't see anything out of Stratus when it felt like he was a major part of their win against Duluth in that quarterfinal we saw.
Massive part, I agree. Yeah, definitely. We need to see a step-up performance from Stratus. Obviously, a challenger sub, so 2 challenger subs in this match. Stratus stepped up huge against Duluth to shut them down, but it was End really that put them over the top on a lot of the offensive plays that they had. A lot of team defensive plays, though, from this Chicago team. But right now, being run over in their half as they cannot stop double committing the ball. Finally, End gets 1 touch around, but there's trash to collect. Flip reset to himself. Good 50. City went home. Remzik is there to turn it away, just collects and drives the ball to the corner, and that's what Chicago does so well. After they have a solo play from their opponents, they more often than not don't throw the ball away. They just kind of drive it to where the opponents have to come and challenge the ball, Bubbly. They don't ever, throw the ball down the field too much. I mean, you see it happen, but most of the time it's to another possession or it's to an open space.
Yeah, but I do think we saw a lot of it in this game and the last game, but it's mostly just because of double commits. Where Chicago, they double commit for a ball, they bump each other, and then no one's there to challenge immediately. So I think if they can get some of those down, they can start to make some of these games a little more threatening on their end. You see a triple commit coming out at midfield for no reason, and Boggs almost own goals anyway.
Oh, man. This series already starting off completely hot, but Remzik into that corner. Prussia goes missing. Boggs, though, I think Boggs right now in his form, Bubbly, is a top 5 player in the league. By far, it has had his best season so far, and he's only been around for what? This is his 2nd season. Didn't play season 6, got into the league in last season in season 7. This has been his best season so far, I think, as Trash tries to go around Remzik. Prussia, follow-up is there, and Prussia ever so strong on his shot. A great individual play, though, from Trash. Gets around Stratus, forces a bad save, and Prussia is there to clean it up. Bubbly, your team up 1-0 here in the game and in the series so far.
And tons of pressure, and I'm loving it. I was a little worried that, a lot of the time I bring a lot of pressure to the team. So I was worried Prussia was going to be nervous, he was going to play back, but we're not seeing any of that at all. It looks like he's playing like me, if not better.
He's playing like you. He's got to get the demos going, though. That's a big thing. Maybe it's a big thing for Boggs to get a sidewall double, but Prussia so far has played really structured. And I think that, Bubbly, you are a structured player. A lot of people say you're hard to play with. I would argue you're one of the easier players I think I've ever had to play with. In the fact that, Brad and I have talked about this before. Trash and I have talked about this before with you, Bubbly. You're a player who really, when you get in a lobby, you're never out of place. You're always like you can pretty much fit into any lobby you're in. You're never, in the lobby, and you're never out of the play or just lost completely. I feel like
for better or for worse.
For better or for worse. But overall, I mean, with Prussia stepping up into this, I believe me, I kept keeping my eye on that Green Bay series the entire time, watching ball chasing to see how it went. And Boggs overall, I mean, hasn't really in the game 1 was pretty quiet. I mean, had the game-winning goal, but other than that, hasn't really had to do, insanely amount of much. But it's been Prussia and Trash to keep up the offensive pressure going, and they're doing a good job of just forcing out bad touches from Chicago.
Yeah, you keep talking about Prussia because, obviously he's the sub. I do want to say Trash has done a great job of just applying pressure, going for every ball, making it awkward for the defense. Even balls like this, they miss a touch. Trash is just there right away.
Prussia.
And a great pass. And
Prussia.
Oh, beautiful placement.
And these two working in tandem. Boggs holding down the back line. Prussia, sniper in his own right side, placed perfectly. Good power. And St. Cloud up 2-0 with 45 seconds left, looking to go up 2-0 on the series. And keep in mind, Bloomington did, a similar thing in that last one, Bubbly. They went up 2-0. And then all of a sudden, Des Moines started to figure them out, started to get momentum going. And what did we see? Derecho pull out 3 straight, make it 4 straight, actually, as they won that series in 6 games. Do you feel like with what we've seen from Chicago, is that even possible for them?
I think the difference, though, is that first game for Des Moines, Mogi had 2 incredible solo goals. They had another team goal, and it looked like they were already on, and they just happened to lose game 1.
I think that's perfectly said. Yeah.
This Chicago, they feel like they're
flat
doing things, kind of, but even like the random back wall miss is 0 seconds. It doesn't matter, but Trash still, like, he's on his game. He's taking advantage of every miss, and Radis so far has had more than his fair share of them.
Perfect shot for St. Cloud. Trash at the end there with 0 seconds. Getting that third on the board, it's not going to mean much, but give him shooting 1 for 5. Prussia 2 for 2 on the game. Remzik with 1 shot. Stratus with no shots on the board. Only 1 save, and End with only 2 shots. Shutting down the Chicago offense. This defense from St. Cloud showing up big. And Bubbly, I mean, you know them better than anyone at this point. What is going through your St. Cloud team's head right now? What are you thinking they're talking about at this point? For me, it's got to be just simplicity. Make the easy play, and so far you guys have every single time. Obviously, I'm not trying to show, I'm not trying to make you show too much bias, but you know them better than anyone. What is going through their head at this point?
I don't know Prussia that well, but he looks like on the cams he's sitting there being a good listener, because I know Trash is sitting there talking.
Oh yeah, he likes to talk. Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Keep it locked in, play slow, play the same we've been going. He's saying slow down probably, but then he's going to come out super fast in this game anyway.
That's true, yeah.
So, and then Boggs is just there, he's vibing. He's having a great time, just sitting there being the best player in the league. I'll say it.
He's up there for me. Overall, when we ran into you guys in the group stage, I felt like he played unreal. I mean, obviously you were injured for it and you didn't get to see it. Tricky had a great closing game against us. Had a hat trick in that game, but Vogs just could not miss a single shot he took. Yeah. And that's the threat. Right now, Vogs is not the main threat that St. Cloud is giving off. They're still winning 3-0. If Vogs starts to really tone in what he's trying to do on the field, I don't know how I don't know how they slow down this St. Cloud offense.
Right? Like we mentioned, Trash is the most assists in all of Purdue. Who's got to be scoring it? It's not me. It's usually Vogs. And so the fact that Vogs is just chilling back and letting Trash and Prussia do everything, like, this is incredible offense we've seen coming out. And then Vogs is still back, just taking his time, clean it up.
Incredible. That's what he does so well. Great drop-off, handoff to Prussia. That's on target. Prussia off the ceiling double. And a great handoff pass from Trash, but Prussia. Just incredible. We don't get to see it quite fully from his POV. Remzik tries to save it, but up one or the...
This mic, man, keeps cutting out. Not love
right, will not let us live. And I don't think it's the focus, right? I think it's my cam that's doing it. Oh my god!
And it's always in the middle of the most hype moments like this. Let's hear you hype this one up.
As Vogs off the dunk and Prussia, it was Prussia dunking it through, finds Vogs on the shot, and that's really just a great follow-up, Bubbly. And I unplugged my cam, so if it happens again, I'm going to be pissed. If it happens again, then I know it's my focus, right? But regardless, though, overall a great game again from St. Cloud, who have come out flying in this series so far, Bubbly. And it's been Prussia who has really stepped up. Trash has stepped up, and now Vogs getting in the mix. And like I talked about, Chicago just looks flat at this point on offense. They don't have any pressure. They don't have hardly any shots. What do they need to do to get it going offensively?
Like, I hate to keep calling out Stratus, but like you see Remzik and N pulling out plays like this that look threatening. I feel like, you know, one of these times Stratus has got to get involved if they want to, like, have a shot in the series.
I agree. And with that 50-50 goal, great play. Again, is 2:54. This game almost halfway over, Bubbly. Vogs off the ceiling, dropping it down. Trash is there for the follow-up. As, again, yeah, this game almost halfway over. St. Cloud up 1-1, looking for up 2, post, and out for Vogs as he hits the outer side of it, doesn't hit it fully, but the good news is St. Cloud's still on offense, still have the midfield line. There's pressure to hold it. Maybe a double off the sidewall, can't find it. End towards Remzik. Backboard double is there. Trash and Vogs communicating to leave it for Vogs as that shot comes in and Prussia turns it away, collects it on the sidewall. Great first touch to put Stratus in a tough spot. Has to back pass. And Prussia with the good forward touch. Trash gets the dunk somewhat, but end all the way down. A great touch again from Vogs, who is holding down this backline so well for St. Cloud.
Nothing from Chicago seems like it's getting through right now when Vogs is last back. Saw that a great shot coming out from Vogs too. Showed he's got the offense as well. But see, like, I want to say something and I cannot figure out the words. You know? You know what I mean? I hate this feeling.
I somewhat
Can you
have
read
an
my
idea.
mind?
No, I can't. Unfortunately, I cannot.
Please,
Mobley.
please.
I don't have the answer for you, my friend.
I was gonna say, I know how to word it. I'm here, okay? I think Vogs is doing so great on offense and defense, and I feel like there isn't a player on Chicago who's stepping up to that level right now. Like, they're having a good individual play on offense, but then maybe they're making a missed touch on defense. And then maybe a good touch on defense, like that from Trash, but then it's a missed touch on offense.
Oh,
This is an open
boy.
net.
It is. No boost for end. Follow up from Prussia. Open net. St. Cloud has the third. 64 seconds left in this game. This one should be a goal in that no boost for anybody on the side of Chicago. And they're starved completely. Now staring down a threat of a 3-0 disadvantage. St. Cloud making quick work of the jungle.
Young 2-goal lead with minute left to play.
Oh, Prussia.
You see Prussia confident going for these solo plays. Even the rebound coming out to Vogs looking threatening. Trash is able to keep this one in, but no boost to follow it up. Ball. Come back to Prussia, 1v1 against Stratus. Wins the 50. Threatening touch from Remzik, can't find the double. Hop back to Stratus, and it's just not good enough, I think. It's it high, no follow.
I agree, and I would have liked for N to just put that on target after Prussia got dunked on that 50 and bumped. I would have rather seen N just shoot the ball instead of passing. I mean, it's a good look to Remzik, but it's hard for Remzik to even turn that on net, let alone get to the backboard in time where Vogs is lying in wait, waiting for him to hit the ball to the backboard. It's like, I would rather have just seen N just shoot the ball on net and put some pressure on St. Cloud, who haven't had to make a ton of saves in this series. Vogs, though, gonna clean it up. Prussia kills it down. Game number 3 to St. Cloud, who are 1 game away from the grand finals.
Oh, what a chaotic end to that game that was
Yeah.
over anyway. But regardless, I feel like Jungle just isn't making each other look good. Like,
No.
they're giving each other super hard reads, super hard shots that the only touches they have just can't be threatening. For Flyers, it feels like they're working together as a unit, a little cohesive. There's challenge after challenge, shot after shot, and maybe it's just the rotation not there from Jungle on offense, but it feels like they're all committing all at once and then all rushing back at defense all at once, and there's no spacing between it.
And obviously, Chicago, you got to wonder what is going through their head now as Prussia, a great game, puts up 2 goals. Vogs puts up 1, and 12 shots coming out from the Flyers in that game, and not a ton though for Chicago. What does Chicago need to change here on offense, Bubbly? Because I don't know what needs to go differently, but they need to figure out some offensive confidence to get back in this series. Because right now, St. Cloud on match point, looking to put them to bed.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like as counterproductive as it sounds, I feel like they should have a deeper third man and just someone to help clean up because they're doing a good job with their first and second man, getting a 50, getting a ball to come out, but their second and third man is always so close to the play that they just can't make a good touch, make a play. Full boost off the sidewall and they can make good plays, just not quite. Whereas you see Fresh, he's got the ball out mid to Vogs. Prussia's all the way back in the Flyers' net, just waiting for this ball to pop out. And now it's free possession again for Flyers.
And I would say, Bubbly, Chicago caught Duluth out a ton on Duluth's inability to hold down the back line and hold down the clear game. Every time Chicago tries to clear the ball, St. Cloud's ready. Every single time. As that pinch going to go right at Prussia, makes the save. Trash good forward flip touch, gets the dunk. And looking for Remzik, but Vogs knows those two so well, cuts it out off the backboard and the shot, but Prussia going to clear it down and give Vogs a chance here. Not a ton of boost, but a good dunk on the front side. Remzik going to find Stratus on the sidewall, but Stratus kind of flips away from the ball and doesn't get much. Trash though kind of tries the back pass to Prussia, who blocks out the shot, and Remzik looking for one, but there's Trash to turn it away. No boost for St. Cloud at this point. Vogs, a great play, gets a flip reset and clears past almost two players. Vogs, a veteran play from the leader of the St. Cloud team.
Save coming out. They double commit for it though. Stratus finally getting on the board in the series, 4 games in. A well-played shot, but even then it starts off with that end Remzik double commit. You need those to stop if you're a Jungle fan.
I'm swapping out my webcam currently, Bubbly, but regardless.
Oh, my bad. I could keep going.
No, you're good. You're good, my guy. You're good. As Prussia puts it on target, Stratus is going to have one touch. Remzik gets demoed, and Stratus may have caught St. Cloud out, but Prussia is there to turn it to the sidewall. Has one more shot and has the save, and Prussia looks very, very threatening so far in this series. Trash gets another demo. Prussia off the sidewall. Remzik, though, will get the clear. Trash will get the corner and somewhat win the 50 back to Vogs, who has one more touch. Stratus couldn't place himself correctly for that touch. Prussia forward, putting pressure again. Another double commit from Chicago. Can they get out of their half while they do that? They somewhat do, as Stratus gets one more touch. Looking for one more. Doesn't have any boost as Trash plays over him. And a drop touch end with the shot. Trash kind of lost it, and it's going to go in as 2-0 lead. Chicago starting to wake up.
Yeah, Prussia just not able to get back in time to that save. Vogs beat out ball. Good shot from in. Get it bar down, make it real threatening. And that's the plays we want to see from Jungle. Just one person taking a shot, the other 2 people waiting, you know?
And I plugged in my other webcam. Apologize for the freeze, but my other webcam is
that's okay.
Is
We're
working a lot
halfway
better
through
than
this
the previous one, Bubbly. But regardless, though, we have seen Chicago start to wake up on offense. Though Vogs a shot, but can't put it on target. Prussia off the side corner. Trash, I think, backflipped. Vogs, though, free ball and a possession over 2 defenders off the backboard. Trash, follow-up is right at end. Had an open net, but couldn't place it strong enough. It was a little bit far out. Vogs again off the backboard. Stratus gets the read and the catch. Gets one more touch. Trash goes missing, and Prussia 50s it directly to end again, who turns and bangs the ball once again. Trash trying to get a drop touch, and only 2 minutes, Bubbly, left for St. Cloud to find 2. What in the
St.
world?
Cloud find 2, but it's going to start with 2 players on Jungle not jumping on the goal line. I feel like either one of them could have made a touch on that ball, but Prussia, no hesitation. No
Prussia's
fear.
just like, well, if you're gonna give it to me, you might as well just give it to me. Yes. Both players just don't even choose to go for the ball, Bubbly. And now off the kickoff, Prussia towards net, but Remzik has it red. Trash off the backboard and on the catch. Up sidewall, gets one more touch, but doesn't have any boost really to work with. Remzik off the sidewall double. Trash will read it. This is going to bounce really bad for Stratus. He can't read it as Prussia goes up to get the 50 on Stratus. Stratus misses again as end into that corner. Free touch. Just Vogs didn't get enough on it, and Trash was looking for the follow-up. Prussia off that side wall. There's a minute left in this game. End had no boost. The demo came in. The bump came in from Vox, and he turns as Chicago absolutely starved at this point, Bubbly.
We see more and more pressure. They're getting the mid boost. They're stealing their corner boost, but none of these rotations turning into shots quite yet. But still, Chicago, they got no options on offense until they get some boost first. Russia figuring it out to Vogs off the sidewall. Can't find a touch. Russia third man. Great read on that play. Still some time for his team to get back. Vogs is turning to collect the ball in the back. Tries to get it high on the sidewall, make it awkward for Chicago. That Stratus beating 2 out. Great individual effort.
Oh boy.
Eventually, a double commit coming out for Chicago,
boy.
and this
Oh,
is
here
dangerous.
comes the fun.
You love to see it.
Oh!
Stratus,
It pitches back. Remzik still has it, and off his corner. Vogs will dunk him. Remzik has full boost, is able to go, gets it off the backboard. Trash gets one touch forward, beats Remzik. Vogs will miss. And game number 4, excuse me, will go to the Chicago Jungle, who are trying to climb out of the pit, now down 3-1.
You know, the start of that game, we saw Chicago, they were stepping up a little. They got 7-8 shots total, end with 5 of them. I was like, oh, I think they're back. They got this. They might win 3 or 4 in a row. I could see it. But by the end of that game, it looked like it was all Flyers again. They got few opportunities, and just that one last shot from Vogs could have been very threatening on net. That 2v1 could have gotten the bump, but a great save from Stratus stepping up big. And, you know, we'll see how this next game that Chicago comes out, because I feel like if they get to an early lead again real quickly, they could have another game win.
I agree, and now, of course, you're looking at a 3-1 deficit if you are the Chicago Jungle. You gotta get a rebuttal here, Bubbly. You need to rattle off, what is it, 3 straight games now, 4 straight actually, now 3 straight to beat St. Cloud, who went up 3-0 and came out blazing hot. Still at the end of that game was putting on a lot of pressure on the Jungle, who just escaped at the kind of the last second of pressure going for that bump. Stratus went in and out, made that save, and Bubbly overall. I mean, your thoughts on the game 4? Do you think that St. Cloud still has the momentum they had in the first 3?
I think now that it's been like 30 seconds, relatively back and forth gameplay, I feel like St. Cloud has got this game. You know, I feel like Chicago needed to come out, needed to set the pace, and then they wouldn't have to force 2-3 people to feel like they needed to score. I feel like now they got Remzik and End rotating back at the same time. A little chaotic on offense. 2 or 3 people going for that ball that they're both beat to. Like, I feel like they're just in their own heads now. They feel like they need to score and are panicking on offense.
Off the backboard touch, the front side of Chicago's net being cleared as Stratus gets one touch, Remzik into that corner. Prussia will miss the read, but Trash is there to cover it. No boost really for Prussia, who's kind of starving at the moment, trying to find something as Stratus gets one touch, but he's dunked immediately by Vogs. Prussia backflips as Trash will take over. Doesn't have a ton of boost to follow up, but gets one more touch. Remzik kind of centers it. Vogs for the shot. It's far post, but Stratus again stepping up, making the save. Prussia upper 90. That's such a good pass from Vogs. Infield for Prussia. Prussia continues to have an impact on this series.
That was beautiful. And Prussia, you see, he doesn't boost a single time that play. He's still looking around for pads. And then the pass is just too perfect for Vogs. All he's got to do is front flip.
Great pass across. Bump off the kickoff. End has the shot. And I think it was a miscommunication between St. Cloud there as Trash got kind of bumped and Vogs meant to turn around for the touch, got stuck, and End gets the shot on target. And a great play for Chicago, who even up the game and don't let this one get away from them, but still a lot of time, in this game left as kickoff 1 to End, tries to go around Prussia, but he's there. Remzik on the follow-up, again saved by Trash, and St. Cloud with a good save, able to keep that ball out and not allow Chicago to get a lead. I mean, when we saw Chicago get a lead, they were able to hang on to it, but if St. Cloud can, get a lead and do the opposite, it might get scary for Chicago as a shot from Remzik comes out, but another demo. Front side trash hunting, and Vogs over one. Where's Prussia for the follow-up? He's midfield waiting on this touch, and he gets a free one as N gets one more touch. A lot of boost to work with. Flip reset. Gets over Vogs off the backboard. Stratus is there, and it just kind of pinches through, and Chicago able to get their second on the board off of Stratus's follow-up, but N made that play happen.
I think there was a little team bump there. Trash and Vogs potentially, but hard to blame them when that ball's sitting right in front of their net. But that last offensive attack from Flyers you were talking about, where is Prussia? I think maybe he's gotten a little too passive now that he's on match point, just trying not to lose. It's causing them to not score as much as they were in previous games.
Vogs, good beat out on Stratus, looking for one more touch, can't find it. Prussia front touch to Remzik, who kind of just takes the ball off his head. Trash one touch down, can't really get much going with it. Vogs, good touch downfield, putting pressure again on Chicago to make a better touch than Vogs just did. End forward, finds Stratus on the shot. That's such a good pass from End.
An unfortunate rotation back from Vogs, bumping Trash as soon as he tries to jump for that aerial. Prussia beat out to the ball, but Chicago finally starting to work together a little. They got passing play going there around defender, but not on net, giving his teammate an open net.
We've seen Chicago, we've seen St. Cloud in a situation like this before, down 2-0 with 2 minutes left in regulation, but this time, End has stepped up in game number 5, and gotten Chicago going, has the clear all the way down the field, beats Prussia out as third man. Prussia doesn't recognize he was third man right away. Now 4-1 with 1:52 to go. Does St. Cloud chalk this one up, Bubbly? And do you think they move on, or do they still keep trying? Because they kind of win the kickoff here, but End's sitting in the way of it.
I mean, if I'm in this St. Cloud Flyers roster,
I mean, you are
not giving up. Well, not right now, but we are not giving up this game.
Bubbly's on the injured reserve list. Got to mention that. But it should be listed in the roster submission. I don't know why they didn't put it there, but
you're telling me we got the third or fourth best goal scorer, we got the third or fourth best savior, and the best assist player in the league. Well, maybe now, but we'll see. We'll see how this game finishes out with a minute left to go. I think Flyers at least have it in them to get 1 or 2 goals back, try and swing the momentum back, but Chicago definitely hot right now.
Chicago starting to wake up. They get 5 in this game. St. Cloud, though, after winning 3 games straight, likely going to squander 2 now as Vogs. It's one more forward touch, but Trash committed for the bump, and Vogs gets the 50. Prussia will get the beat on Remzik. Sidewall touch, maybe a follow-up for Trash's. Evil here. Vogs hits the backboard. Open net again for Chicago. Stratus goes missing, and now to the midfield is Prussia finds Trash. 50 seconds left, Bubbly, down 5-2. Do we see a comeback for the ages from St. Cloud?
Would it be rude to say no? I don't think they have it in them to score 3 more. I think Chicago can lock it down, at least just enough to kill time to stop the comeback. I feel like, especially in that first series against Duluth, when all 3 of them are just parked on the goal line, you can make magical things happen to keep that ball out of net.
Trash gets a 50 with Stratus. Vogs, good forward touch. Won't get by Remzik, though, who just slams the ball to the far side of the field and kind of throws it away. His End is there for the collection, doesn't get one more touch. Stratus over to Remzik. The passing play kind of working out a little bit for Chicago, but they all commit, and Trash trying to give Vogs something to work with as the ball kind of got away from him. Prussia doesn't choose to go. His third man now commits and gets a decent 50, but Stratus is there to collect. And now you're looking at a game number 6 for the Flyers to close it out, but Jungle on the hot streak in game number 5. They get 6 on the board off of Vogs' drop down touch. Prussia can't get there. Chicago's starting to wake up a little bit, and I don't know what St. Cloud have to do here. It's Vogs calls End readable. As Bugs
The
got him
banter.
on the pre-jump, but now in game number 5, down to the ground. Chicago looking to go to game 6 and maybe go to game 7, Bubbly, if they're lucky. And we have a timeout from Mr. Prussia. And so we will take 2 minutes here of elapsed time. So
we got 2 minutes to talk about.
we got 2 minutes to talk about this, Bubbly. As much as we want, we can say whatever we can say whatever we want. Well, we can say a lot.
We can say a lot. And you know, the first thing I want to analyze is Vogs, because we've been talking about him as big impact player. And we saw in that game he missed one open net, I think, or was that the game before where they lost? And it was. I feel like he's got to be putting those away if he's that step-up player, going to be the best in the league.
I agree, and now with this timeout coming in, and you see the this overall this scoreline from the last game, you have to think, what do St. Cloud have to go back to? Because I feel like they still are there, but they're not there quite yet. They aren't. They were there, and then they kind of got lost, and now with Chicago kind of getting back into the swing of things, they're really waking up as far as offensively. Can St. Cloud slow that down though, Bubbly? Do you feel like that's the thing? Because I think that I feel like St. Cloud has done a great job of keeping offensive pressure. They just their defense needs to go back to what they did in the first 3 games.
And I think part of that is their defense while their own offense, if that makes sense. Like, cutting off those long clears, not letting them get those passes in the midfield. Because I feel like a lot of times they're leaving their last defender back. And you see St. Cloud joining. We're going.
Indeed, and we are back after the timeout. Short intermission. They essentially get an extra minute after that timer rolls out. Double demo from Prussia. Trash though can't get it infield, and Vogs can't really get it infield either, as Prussia looking like you out there for a second there, Bubbly. Removing 2 players from the field and just kind of hitting the delete key on them as Trash just to make this save. And game number 6 kicks off with I guess you could say Prussia extravaganza for now, but he's going to have to make a save here as Remzik tries to get over top of him. The 50 kind of works out, but Vogs gets the beat. Anyone home? It's Prussia. He clears it down, and maybe is caught, but End is there to clear it. Vogs looking for an infield pass, but Trash was back and waiting. Is Remzik going to win that 50 and lose that one to Prussia, though, as Stratus collects here. Kind of gives the ball away to Vogs. That's off the backboard. Anyone home? Trash looking for the shot, but Prussia there, able to turn it out. N gets the demo, but a good cut from St. Cloud in the midfield to close out that demo play on the 3rd man.
And St. Cloud started out with some opportunities there, but now it's looking like Chicago's ramping up a minute into this game, getting offensive opportunities left and right, and now we're starting to see St. Cloud double commit on the defensive end. Gonna have to get a clear out here. Prussia wins that challenge. Trash waiting upfield. That clear. Remzik gives it away to Vogs. Good shot just off the mark. Now, and beat out by Prussia, but that ball coming high.
I'd like to be an open net for a second there, Lovely.
Maybe for a second, but I don't think they were worried about it. Little awkward dribble coming out from Trash. Gonna be cleared out all the way from Chicago. Another thing I'm noticing for Chicago, a lot of these attacks, they're getting the St. Cloud Flyers corner boost. Doing a great job of boost starving them.
Prussia good 50. Stratus will leave it for Remzik on the follow-up. Remzik misses the flick. Stratus last back. Does not win the 50. Vogs wins it. Free shot for Vogs. Shut down by End. Trash off the backboard. Remzik will get the beat. Prussia's there for the follow-up, and Prussia gets it through. This game number 6, almost halfway over, but Vogs doing the work to get St. Cloud that goal and an open net. Prussia, though, gets the shot on target. This game halfway over, Bubbly, and St. Cloud up 1, but can they hold the lead this time around?
We'll have to see. Is another kickoff going the way in St. Cloud Flyers, but no shot coming out immediately from it. En's gonna put this one to the corner. Dunk trash out the awkward ball in front of net. Can anyone clear it? Prussia just gets the 50 out. Trash killing time now. Pop the ball middle. Logs. 4 touch to the side. Gonna leave Prussia last back 2v1. Face composed on the backboard. Get a clear out. Weak shot coming in. Now Logs taking his time, taking a low 50, getting it past 1, getting it around 2. Prussia pops it mid, but no follow-up coming. It's now St. Cloud Flyers looking a little stuck in their own half. Not able to get a clear out, but not getting too many threatening opportunities against them either. They always have somebody there for the 50 so far. Will
Boggs has been huge. Oh, huge beat on the ball. Bubbly. Boggs has been huge in this game 6. Has stepped up massively on just challenges, but also on these 50-50. Stratus, double off the corner, misses it. Remzik, follow-up is back post. Trash, though, makes the touch and trying to get it in. Trash, though, reads it, and Remzik at the midfield line, going to try and hang it through. Is no boost in the tank. Stratus getting one more touch, flips it through. Can he get the 50? It goes off the backboard. Again, the corner boost steal. No booster. St. Cloud, they're starving right now. Surviving on a limb. Remzik, maybe a flip reset. Trying to get a pre-jump to end. End misses, though, and now you just give St. Cloud somewhat of a 50-50. A chance. Is 60 seconds left. Stratus looking for the drop-down pass, but Prussia is there. It's an overcommit for Chicago. Open net for Trash. He puts it through. And St. Cloud, on their last breath, gonna survive Chicago's onslaught.
You see Trash all the way up at midfield, because I think that's the second or third time in a row he had to go to midfield to find a full boost. And finally, just one clear over the third man. It's open.
It's a 2-goal lead now. Remzik. Flip reset past 1. Vogs, though, shuts it down, and it would be Vogs, Bubbly, to shut down Remzik's opportunity. Same with shutting down N's opportunity earlier in this game. Remzik, another shot. Trash, though, gonna turn it to the side. 30 seconds, Bubbly. Your team is 30 seconds away from the grand finals and playing derecho for it. They just gotta survive for another 25 seconds. Trash has the dunk on end. Stratus, one touch forward, but kind of gives the ball to Boggs. And Bubbly, what does your team need to do to hang on here for 15 seconds?
Don't give up a goal right here. Remzik kind of cleared it away for the Flyers. Prussia, great touch. Just hit it high. Kill time. I'm more nervous now than I would be if I'm playing with 2 seconds left. They're going to give up a goal. And now they have to do a kickoff rate to not give up another.
Trash missing the ball, missing contact. 2 seconds left. Yeah, you just got to take this. Take this replay. Get back to what you've been doing. Shut down the jungle. 2 seconds left. Trash on the kickoff. And gets one touch, but it gets away from him. He can't get back to it. St. Cloud to the grand finals to play Des Moines.
Ooh, had no GGs from the jungle there. Feels bad, man. But the Flyers, great series from them. Chicago, I was a little worried at the start of this series that we weren't going to get to see anything out of them. Like, man, they're all over each other. They're not doing anything. And in the end, they made it a series. They made it close, and those last few games were fun to watch.
They really came back and started pressing as far as St. Cloud goes. St. Cloud, I mean, you see the shots that Jungle put on. That is 16 shots, and St. Cloud gives up 1 goal, and there was 2 seconds left, probably. I mean, an onslaught is what I'll say from the Chicago Jungle, and they just couldn't break through. They had to deal with it the entire time, and now into the grand finals go the St. Cloud Fires, who are going to play this Des Moines team that has looked really good on the day. Bubbly, your thoughts on Des Moines so far? You obviously casted them, but do you think that they need to bring the same level of consistency? Because I feel like they're going to need to bring quite a bit of offensive pressure to break down St. Cloud.
You know, in this series, I feel like for the St. Cloud Flyers, we had Prussia having his moments early on, had Trash pretty consistently throughout the whole series playing well. Boggs was on and off. He had that really off game last game, but just to finish the series out, game number 6, he really stepped up big. And when I was casting Derecho, it was like, Mogi's doing incredible, Mogi's doing great. And where's Water and Wolf? Mogi's doing incredible.
Mogi's doing great.
I guess Wolf scored a goal. That's cool. Where's Water? And so I feel like we're going to need to see the team step up for Derecho more if they're going to win this grand final for the major.
I agree. And obviously, those will be the starting lineups for the next match. We're going to take a very short break to get into that, as I am frantically doing things here, friends. But regardless, appreciate everyone coming out for this series. This grand final is going to be insane. Obviously, Wolf, yes, you can't forget Bubbly. Wolf did have a great shot in
He did. He had a great
overtime.
flip reset.
He did.
That was incredible. But that was it.
Can't forget about that.
You know?
But that was it. That's I agree. That's really all they had. Gonna be honest. To me it was. I mean, Water had some great saves individually, but overall, Wolf, you're gonna have to get the offense going here, my guy.
Oh yeah.
to get your team a win, but
And to get Bubbly's approval.
to get Bubbly's.
Most important thing here.
I mean, Bubbly does play for St. Cloud, so I mean he is going to have a an idea, but I'm just getting the bracket set up for everyone. But regardless, appreciate everyone sticking with us, of course. And my cam is not on, but we're gonna have somebody else joining us, so I won't need it totally right away, Bubbly. But yeah, I'm not in focus, but I'm somewhat here. I'm still here. I put on the different camera, so hi, Bubbly. Yeah, hi.
You're here.
As I am here, but yeah, we're gonna throw it to a very short break. We're gonna get those teams, get everything reset, obviously on one end, but I'm just gonna check something really quickly.
Really quickly,
And-
before we go to a break.
Yeah, give me 1 second, Bubbly. Gosh,
My bad.
nah, you're good.
You know, all
You're
these
good, you're
players are waiting. I gotta keep St. Cloud Flyers. I want them to play right away while they're still hot. Like, man, we just won. We got all that adrenaline. And now Stewie's out here icing them.
I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, my guy.
Well, that's why we go to the break, right? Gotta
Yeah,
make
that's
it
why
fair.
we go to the break. I agree. Yeah, we're. I'm still delaying as much as I can before we go to the break, but I think I'm ready now. I think I'm good now as far as going to a break goes. And yeah, I am ready. We're gonna go to a very short intermission, and we'll be back with the grand finals. Well. Lo and behold, we've added JTV to the lineup. Bubbly and Matt and Stewie, whatever you want to say. And JTV here for this grand final for Premier for the major. Should be a blast. I'm looking forward to it. Bubbly, obviously you and I have been here all night. I know how you're feeling. JT, how you feeling, Joseph?
Honestly, like, I know Christmas is around the corner, but you just gave me a gift early. I've been looking for, I won't say this exact matchup, but I've been looking for this scenario all season. Me and you have talked about it week after week after week. I know I'm generally not playing at, or, casting at this league, but I do love and respect everything that every single one of these leagues are doing. I try to show up when I can. But for me to see the Des Moines Derecho, the youngest squad in Minnesota Championship, here in the finals, I'm excited. Whether they win or lose, just to know that the youngest franchise, a bunch of kids came together and they're looking
They look
on
good.
the
Today, they
fringe
look really
of
good.
victory right now, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So I'm excited to be here, and I thank you for allowing me to be a part of the ride.
I love having you here, my guy, and love having Bubbly here as well. Love being here, guys. Love
thanks.
everyone that jumps into chat and gives us this. But you see how it's panned out. Des Moines making the run. You see Fargo and Duluth both. JT, the number 1 and number 2 team in all of Premier, shut down to 1 game win combined. That is just insane to me. And you see Des Moines and St. Cloud in the finals. I mean, they've played some great Rocket League. I'm excited to see what we get out of these guys, but obviously they're being Wolf and Des Moines and St. Cloud. I mean, Joseph, you obviously haven't, I don't know if you've been keeping track with the matches yet, but what do you think we need to see out of Des Moines to maybe break down the St. Cloud defense? Because St. Cloud really stepped it up in the last series to close it out against Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really get to see that matchup, but I was listening closely to how you guys were breaking it down. And it sounds like it's been a little one-sided. You know, a triangle, for it to move in accordance, generally you have to have even angles for it to really make its full effect. So not a single side will really falter or fall within itself. You're not going to see a triangle collapse if it's made the right way. And right now what we're seeing is a very lopsided triangle where Mogi is really stepping out, doing a lot of the work, making a lot happen, and you're not seeing as much of a return, you know, from center from his teammates right now. And we'll see what happens going into this matchup. But like I like to say is on any given day, anything can happen. And the fact that they're here right now, they've done enough to get to this point. They've done a little bit in between to stay alive. But now they got to stay hungry, but they got to be careful because there's a wolf on the other side.
I agree. And we're going to all make our predictions. We're going to make our predictions right now. I have a lot of bias towards St. Cloud, obviously, but I'm a big fan of Des Moines. I love how they play the game. It's super fun to watch, super great to be a part of. Bubbly, obviously, you're a St. Cloud player in your own right. You understand what St. Cloud needs to do. But,
Absolutely.
Bubbly, I'm going to go to you first. What is your prediction for the grand finals?
Gotta keep it bold. Gotta trust in the boys. I know they've been playing great Rocket League. I think St. Cloud's winning 4-0. Not even close.
Wow! Oh, he's not even giving the kids a game. Joseph.
He said 99.
He said 99. It's your bedtime. It's a little late for you. Yeah.
Hold on, one of these on you. My goodness. All right, no, my goodness, Bubbly. What do I even say in retort to that? That is crazy. I mean, I know I love to see all the Rocket League in the world, and I'm gonna say it anyways. We're going the distance. I don't think either team is gonna.
I think
let
we're
up.
going at least 6.
No, I think we're going 7. I think tonight is the night that every player, every team is showing up and they are ready. They are hungry, and I'm ready for it. I'm glad to be in this driver's seat right now, ready to cast this match.
I agree, and I think we're going 6 at least. I'm gonna go St. Cloud in 6. I've got belief in the boys. They're playing great Rocket League. Let's get it underway, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go to the starting lineups. Des Moines and St. Cloud for the major final for Premier. Game number 1. Who do you got? Because, I mean, it's going to come down to a lot of Rocket League still left to be played. And Des Moines, hot off of a win against Bloomington. St. Cloud just took down Chicago in 6. Joseph, I mean, can the kids get it done, though? Can they really take down this St. Cloud defense?
We are hoping, man. I mean, right now, like I said, it's really coming down to can they get that, like in basketball, they talk about these triangle formations for a reason. There's a reason why the Lakers were so dominant for such a long time. It's because they had every point of that triangle, knowing where they needed to be and how they needed to impact in the way that they needed to. And if the Derechos can step up to the plate, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of young guns on this team, but if the Derechos can step up, I really think we're going 7. Like I said, I think the Derechos can take this. The Flyers, like I said, it's crazy when you look. When you're looking around, you got the wolf on the Derechos, and he's hungry, but I just don't know what's going to happen.
I agree. And Bubbly, obviously, you know what happened the last time these two teams faced. You were in that match. What does Des Moines do so well? Obviously, you know the mechanics. You've seen the mechanics. You know the mechanics. Mogi, the double off the backboard. But besides the mechanical play, is it their structure? Is it their positioning? What do Des Moines do well compared to other teams?
I think above all else, it's just the speed of play for them. You see, even on that goal, it was a great mechanical play by
Off the
Mogi.
kickoff.
You see Water up there.
Ooh.
He's getting the boost steals. He's getting the boost. He's making it awkward. Maybe awkward in his own net, too.
That was nasty.
What a
It wasn't even
change-up.
like it was anything too fancy. It was just, I'm going to get in your way. I was going to make sure that you're just not going to be able to make much happen there, and Boggs was right there to make the angle that he needed to. That's heads-up defense.
I agree. And now, game number 1 is knotted up at 1 apiece. They trade goals as Vox finds the back of the net. And Joseph, the voice, and me, Matt, Stewie, whatever you want to call me, and Bubbly Reaper, are going to be through this match for you, friends. So we'll have some obviously, hopefully some pop-off moments. We've already seen a double tap from Mogi to start off the game, and Vogs with the rebuttal for St. Cloud, but Vogs is, for me, the X Factor player in this match has got to be Vogs. He needs to step up and lead St. Cloud to a win here.
I mean, I honestly think, like I said, I don't know too much about the Flyers. I know a little bit more about the derechos, but I'm excited to see what happens from either angle. But I just want to take one moment real quick because I still notice you're dealing with a little bit of an identity crisis. Can we please get a I Love Stewie in chat? This man absolutely deserves to be known as the man Stewie. I don't care what any other person out there wants to say. They can say whatever they want about this man, but he is Stewie, and he is the man from our hearts who helps make this league run. He deserves to get that love. Put some I Love Stewies in chat, people.
I love JTB. This is why I bring him on. This is why I bring him on. For that, no, I bring him on because just the sheer professionalism, Joseph. You bring every single cast, but also, you know what I love, Joseph, is your sayings. Bully ball this time was the play for Prussia.
Fire water.
But that was
right there. My goodness, it was smooth.
Fire
we got a little bit of icy
water.
hot out there right now.
Definitely. His Water's able to get that second one. And I mean, offense for Des Moines, hot as ever, not slowing down. I don't know if it's the challenge game, Bubbly, but what does St. Cloud have to change so far? Because they're not going to be able to give up 2 goals a game against this Des Moines offense that is continuing to stay hot.
I think it really is just this boost game. You know, I know Trash as a player relies a lot on quarter boost. Vogs usually plays on low boost, but in Des Moines, they're just starving them. They can't even get up to a ball on their own backboard right now. How little boost they have.
Can we just point out that Water has scored 1 goal, but every single player is getting involved. If you look across the board, you have almost 3 shots from everybody. Yeah, you got 8 shots on the board already. You got defense being played out by Mogi. Mogi's jumping back on offense. Like, they definitely need to slow down Mogi. That's a guarantee. But now you got the other derechos starting to heat up a little bit. It's starting to get a little bit crazy out here. Are you sure you want to stay with that 4-0 prediction, Bubbly?
Absolutely. You know, we still got 2 minutes left in this game.
There's still 2 minutes. That's right.
Confidence. You got time. You got to keep it going.
Mogi went for a pinch there. Mogi flip reset bump. There's a chance, but Vogs has it covered. Off the ceiling, Water now. Flip reset, maybe a musty. Still has his flip. Trash chased in his net. Has the save, and St. Cloud's defense hanging on for now, but it's solo play after solo play for the kids in Des Moines. As this is a chance. Vogs far post shot, but it wasn't on target. Now, Trash looking for a bump. Finds Mogi. Water inside his net, makes the save, and Wolf has the clear. Des Moines looks as cohesive as ever.
That was a close one as it was shot across the goal, just not able to capitalize, but they are trying some nice plays there in front of goal. Derecho not taking just the easy, simple routes. They're definitely trying to mix it up and make some more happen. A beautiful shot down the field by Wolf. Water over to Mogi, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Hat trick for Mogi.
And that is 4 now on the board for Des Moines in game 1. St. Cloud not able to slow them down here in the first game. There's only 56 seconds left, so I think that St. Cloud want to win this series. They got to slow down this offense. They can't give Mogi a free offensive possession every single time. They got to keep a challenge on him. But, I mean, overall, Mogi, Water, and Wolf, really all 3 of them have been playing incredible Rocket League today. And it's one of those days where it just seems like the mechanics are on point, and you're seeing it off the ceiling, bar down. Doesn't go on target. Wolf now looking for a double off the backboard. Maybe a follow-up touch is there. Water for the shot. It's blocked by Prussia. Only 25 seconds left. Des Moines, though, really look just unstoppable at this point on offense. They're putting every offensive possession together. Fogs a double off the backboard. Follow-up is there in bottom right. 13 seconds left. I mean, do St. Cloud have a miracle here?
All I know is if I'm any MCS GM right now, I am taking notes about what's happening on the screen right now, because this is what you need to stop come land time. If they can keep this level of aggression and make themselves out to land and just really push themselves home, this is scary. This team is looking really good right now.
I agree. And Bubbly, obviously, looking at plans now, more than likely going to be a play-ins team. Both of these teams play-ins teams no matter what. But Bubbly, do you feel like Des Moines could run the play-in bracket with how they're playing today?
If they keep playing like they are today, it looks like they can beat anybody in Premier right now. But, you know, the play-in bracket, there's a lot of tough teams. Especially Mankato, they dropped out early in groups, but they got a whole nother month to prepare for the play-ins. So we'll see what comes out come play-in time if Derecho can keep this form up for that long.
Not just to mention, Bubbly's like, hey, I'll be back soon. You're like, I'm not gone forever.
Yeah, Bubbly ain't gone forever. He'll be back
like,
eventually. But
he's like, I'm taking notes right now because this ain't happening again.
he'll be back. If we lose here, this ain't happening again. Is Wolf is
Look at Wolf, so
he's just
casual.
locked in. He is locked in, zoned in on his cam. He is as ready as he will ever be. As game number 2 loading on up. Bubbly, I mean, they gave up 4 goals in game 1. Is it just straight defense that St. Cloud needs to change?
I don't even know if it's defense. I think they just gotta pick up the pace a little bit. I feel like they're getting beat to a lot of balls that they shouldn't be, and these demos like from Trash coming out might help change the tide, cutting it off at the midfield. For St. Cloud, I feel like Trash plays best when the play is going fast, but they're just slowing down because they're just out of boost for all of game 1. Like, you see both their corner boosts gone already, even though they're rotating back to defense. They gotta find a way to secure some of these mid and corner boosts.
Oh, Vogs. Maybe a double from Vogs, upper 90. Starting off game number 2 with a double, Vogs. Mogi was leaving it. Vogs beats Wolf on that. Gets it into the placement. And Joseph, I talked about Vogs being the X Factor player. I think he's the X Factor player there.
No, I definitely agree with you. I definitely feel the same that he is that X factor. I do think, however, though, Trash has been doing a great job defensively, and that's also playing out fairly well. But I think Vogs also needs to step up a little bit defensively from what I saw there in game 1. I think Trash was doing a lot more defensively there in game 1, whereas Vogs was trying a lot more offensively. They need to find that median and be able to work through it. I know Prussia isn't normally in this lineup, so maybe the chemistry just a little bit off where people are maybe relying a little bit more heavily on what people are known best of doing, and that could be paying to their disadvantage right now. But we'll see how things continue to play out as we move forward.
And obviously Prussia, a player who can hold down a back line, has been known to be kind of a third man style. Obviously, Trash, a midfield player, can be aggressive as a first man, but Vogs is a player who also plays kind of similar to Prussia, but is, I would say, a little bit quicker. But regardless, this challenge game from Des Moines is just uncanny at this point. Wolf going to get the beat on the backboard. Off of the shot, it was Mogi, actually. They're both using the same car, and I can't tell them apart. They're both playing incredible.
You know, there's this weird thing. If you hit H, you can see their names on top of their cars.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know if you knew that.
They're both blue, okay? And it's hard for me to see. All right? They're both blue. You leave me alone, Joseph. As off the backboard, Wolf, one touch forward, Mogi on the follow. Fox goes missing again, and Fox just has got to dial in the challenge game at this point as Russia gets dunked. But again, it's what Bubbly is saying. No booster St. Cloud. They're starved at this point. And is it small pads, Bubbly, that they need to get, or is it just locking down their corner boost?
I think it might even be some drives up to mid boost. Try and stop this Des Moines attack. If you steal the mid boost when they're rotating out, then they have to go all the way back to their net. Might give them some more opportunities on these clears, but you see at this attack, once they get it in the Des Moines end, they're doing pretty well at keeping it in there. It's just getting out of their own end to begin with.
Ooh.
I agree with both of you guys, though. At the end of the day, the boost management that's being made by Derecho, like how they're just holding things down, is actually pretty insane. And the Flyers need to, like you said, press a little bit harder in certain circumstances to try to alleviate some of the pressure that's coming back at them from the Derechos, because they're just kind of getting backed into a corner, and then they're getting starved at the same time. And Trashman has just found an opening and gets it just high of the goal. Unfortunate. Now it's right back on the attack for the Derechos.
And Vogs had a read there. He did have a chance at maybe putting that on target. This game, even us still up at 1 apiece. But the good news is Des Moines haven't found the back of the net 4 times by now. And with Trash and Prussia starting to get some outplays. This is dangerous for Des Moines to deal with. Demo on the third man. Prussia may have 50'd into his own net. It's going to go across the box, and Trash gets one touch, but there's Wolf again to steal the corner boost. Mogi free shot, bottom left. Gets the pass, and it's again the corner boost steal as Wolf just hunts for it, and Trash doesn't have a ton of boost to deal with that, and double commit comes out between him and Vogs. St. Cloud look really, I mean, all over the place, really, for me, erratic on defense. And if they can dial in their clear game, it would help alleviate a lot of the boost. If they can get the ball down the field with a little bit more pace, they wouldn't have to press forward as much. But right now, I mean, to be honest, the argument of taking corner boost a lot is you're stealing it from your teammates. Well, would you rather steal it from the opponent than your teammates? I'd rather steal it from the opponent than my teammates.
I mean, what do you mean, though, sir?
Especially when it's your corner. Especially when it's your corner boost, though. That's the thing.
But what if I have 10 boosts and he has 15 boosts, and we have 25 boosts that both of us can throw at that defender, though, right?
Yeah. Fair enough.
No, I'm joking.
I mean,
seriously, these double commits, though, it's rough. They're being put in a corner, and then they're trying to force situations because, like, the one guy's low, so he's like, I'm low, I can't quite get there. So the other guy tries to force to get there, and it just puts him in a more awkward situation. And we're seeing it time and time again because the derechos are just being relentless. We finally get a demo. There we go. Alleviate a little pressure. Can they do something with it? Unfortunately not. They're right there to slow it down.
Big donk, Fox, possession. Had a double in this game to give them, you know, a 1-0 lead, but now they've squandered 2 away. Wolf has some boost, maybe a flip reset over one, finds Mogi, excuse me, left side, and I mean, this derecho attack right now is just uncanny with the mechanics and the plays they're making.
I like it.
I do too.
I like it.
I like it.
I'm not a fan.
Dude, maybe
not a
Bubbly Reaper. Dude, maybe Bubbly Reaper was right. He just said the wrong team on accident.
You never know. You never know.
I'm joking. There's still a lot of fights to be had. But yeah, right now the derechos are looking really good. It's like they're pretty flawless at the moment, and they haven't had too many hiccups which have hindered them. So, and the fact that they keep on getting the flyers to constantly have to force situations, it's just putting them in a much better position right now. And now the derechos are up 2-0 in this series. And they only got to get 2 more victories if they want to call this a night. And instead of them going to bed early, they're bringing the Flyers for a ride, and they are putting on a show.
And Des Moines, yeah, they are putting on a show. I mean, offense, you see it. Mogi with 2 again is just uncanny on offense right now. Wolf and Mogi cannot be stopped at this point. And I'm going to be honest, Bubbly, I really wish you were playing this match because the pace for me is really what's killing St. Cloud. They can't play fast, and with you on the field, I feel like you would help alleviate some of the pace issues that Des Moines is giving St. Cloud. And I mean, I'm not saying Prussia isn't playing fast enough, but I feel like if they can kick it up a notch on the pace of play, they may be able to catch out Des Moines a couple more times. But for now, Des Moines has all the boost and all the time on the ball, and I think that if you're giving them all the time on the boost and all the time on the possession, they're not going to make many mistakes, really. I mean, how would they? You know, they have all day.
So, like, at the same time, some of these double commits we're seeing are between Trash and Bugs. So, like, you can't even use the chemistry excuse.
Exactly.
I feel like they're just all over each other. They just gotta communicate
they're getting
better
forced
while also being fast.
Well, of course, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If they're not going to be fast and they're forcing stuff, like that's not the miscommunication necessarily. It's the fact that they just can't get there. They can't seize that gap, and they're having to rely on others to try to seize it for them while they're still in that position, and it's not going to work. So it really, yeah, like you said, it really just comes down to speed. Can they start to kick it up? Can they find a little extra boost to put in the tank? They definitely just need to mix it up a little bit more to just stay alive in this one.
Good forward touch from Prussia. Gives it right to Wolf, though. Good demo from Prussia on the back line. Removes water from play, and Mogi midfield. Good touch on the net. Vogs, free possession. Has a 50-50 over to Prussia, who is going to pop it up, but gives it right to Mogi. Vogs will be beaten by Mogi. Now Trash Last back as the 52 players was swarmed by the derecho offense, who come flying in to keep the possession on their side, but Des Moines up 2-0 right now in this series, looking red hot on offense. Wolf off the ceiling, leaves it for Mogi. Wogi left it for Wolf. Wolf has the double.
And these guys are just continuing to put on a show. Ladies and gentlemen, we got another highlight for the night right there from Wolf. Thank you, thank you. My goodness, these boys, they woke up and they ate their Wheaties this morning, I'm telling you.
Yeah. They woke up on the right side of the bed, that's for sure. It is not
Hearty
your normal
breakfast.
It is not your normal Tuesday, that is for sure. Who let Wolf cook? But great shot on the net, good follow-up. But it's been Mogi and Wolf, and Water really has not had to do too much, but it's been Mogi and Wolf to stop this offense here. As Trash is a follow-up, but doesn't get it on target. Prussia, good touch. Trash is going to keep it in the half, but Ken St. Cloud just can't get a clean shot, and I don't know if it's Vogs, but Vogs maybe a double off the backboard again, putting pressure on Des Moines, trying to break them down, but that's not what's going to work at this point. It has got to be just more solid play from this St. Cloud team. They got to get down the field. I understand possessing the ball, but you have got to get down the field. Here's a chance, 2-on-1 upfield for Trash, but Mogi gonna miss it. Trash drops it down. There's Wolf to cut it out, though. Great challenge from him again. Prussia wins the 50 into that corner, and another monster clear from Mogi.
Let's break it down like this for a second. You know, Coach Bubbly Reaper, if you were there right now with your team and you could sit down with them and give them, let's say, like 3 good lines of advice, just
Talk
3
to
good
him,
hits
Bubbly.
of advice right now, what would you tell them right now?
Nope. And I would have said, hey, you should have called the timeout after last game. Nothing's working right now. Number 2, obviously, we've been hammering the point. Big boost. You got to secure your corners, got to secure the mids. And then I think the biggest number 3 is trusting your teammates. Where it feels like, you know, like we're saying, they're forced to extend when your teammates like, oh, I'm low boost, and someone else has to go. But I feel like you say, I can't go, and then you still go for the ball. And it's just putting them even more out of position than they would have been otherwise. And just trust your teammates on defense, even if they're like, hey, I got no boost, but you can see they make a touch. Maybe you let them try and make a touch, deal with it afterwards, you know?
You feel like it's almost like that little guy on your shoulder type of situation where they're like, I know I should, I know I shouldn't, but like Bubbly's not here right now, you know, like where they almost feel like they, oh my goodness, Mogi with the dunk!
And he gets bumped by Vogs. He still stays on the ball, has enough boost. Trash has nothing in his tank and can't work his way out. Rush having to turn off his cam, but that's okay, as big dunk, and Des Moines up 2-0 again, and St. Cloud's attack has just been completely squandered. Now it's now 3-0. The derecho cannot be stopped at this point. The kickoff goes in their favor. Mogi wins it past Prussia. It was a back left play for St. Cloud that isn't going to work out, and I mean, it's really, for me, just Des Moines coming out screaming in this series so far. They just can't be stopped. It's Mogi and Wolf, really, that are doing it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's like they're trying to one-up each other at this point. My goodness, that was a nice shot there. Beautiful flick, hits that just barely get into that corner, splitting the seam, get it past the defender. These guys are really just testing the Flyers' abilities right now and putting them in awkward position, and they're just really trying to ride it out to the best of their ability, and they're doing a great job doing that right now.
There's another chance. Prussia was downfield. The double coming again from Prussia and from Trash and Vogs on the front side of the ball. Mogi downfield. Maybe he has a chance. Follow-up is saved. Somehow wasn't in the net. Wolf was on the follow-up. 3-on-1 on Mogi. What does he have? And Prussia goes missing. It's not one you're going to really want to think about if you're Prussia for too long, because, I mean, it's a miss, but at the same time, you have to really think about how does St. Cloud's mentality come back from this. I mean, playing with a sub, though, you have to give them credit. They have played incredible so far this tournament in this bracket. To get this far with a sub is nothing short of amazing, but you're staring down a 3-0, likely a 3-0 disadvantage against Des Moines, who is red. They're not getting colder on offense. They have no flaws on defense. They have no flaws on offense at this point. They're just playing perfect Rocket League.
When did your injury happen, Bubbly? That how much time, I guess I should say, did they have to kind of prep for this after you got injured? Did they have like a week or like a couple days?
Happened last week.
Last Friday.
Okay.
And I've been told they've scrimmed twice with Prussia. They had to play the first part of the major with Tricky, who's another one of our Challenger players. They made it through groups. But scrimming with Prussia, I was told they did 2 scrims and they did not win a single game. So I was a little worried coming into today. This grand final making me, a little more worried as I've gotten 3-0 in the series. But can't forget, they already made it to the grand finals and proved that Prussia's still a great player. Even if I'm not playing, they're still a great team.
Well, looks like the Flyers are going to take a quick timeout. And I guess just real quick, I just want to say that does that almost in a way as the player that's sitting out and you know that you're going to be back in that driver's seat, does it almost give you that vote of confidence that your team, obviously they're losing right now in the finals, but they're here. Do you feel confident that just sliding back into your position, you guys are going to be able to just come back and really make a major impact right away, and it's just going to kind of fold back into where it was? Or do you think that this is going to cause a little bit of a hindrance and everybody's going to be a little off when you come back?
Honestly, I'm more confident in my team now than I've ever been. To make it this far is like incredible work. We came in as the 4 seed into the major. I'm like, oh, we're going to play with a sub. We might not even make it out of groups. And instead we're coming out, we're making it to the grand
That's all
final.
I gotta say.
Thank you,
You're
Stewie.
welcome.
I'm sorry about your team. But they're still coming out there proving it. And I'm just more worried that
LMAO.
I'm a little worried that if I come back and I'm not 100%, obviously I haven't been playing for a week or so, and who knows how long in the future I won't be, that I'm going to have to shake off the rust personally, or maybe even play with Prussia for the play-ins if he's playing this good.
I agree.
Hey, you never know. We'll just say this, though, that I do just want to give a nod of the hat to the Flyers, regardless of if they win this match or if they go home after this match. They've definitely fought very hard without you being able to be in the driver's seat with them. And I know the type of leader that you can be and the way that you kind of help dictate the offense. I've seen it when I've worked with you in other leagues. I've seen you as a player, and I've seen how it develops out on the field when you are at the top of your game. So I got a lot of respect for a lot of what you've done within Rocket League, and I know the type of impact that I know that you can make. And I know that your leadership has probably played a lot into giving these guys that confidence of knowing that, hey, even though we might have subs in, we know the game plan. We trust ourselves and we trust the process that we put into place, that we should still be able to work through this. I mean, they're still in the finals. It's not like they got knocked out, round 1. So there's still a lot to be had, a lot to be said, and a nod of the hat to the Flyers for how hard they have worked in your absence.
Can you guys leave that game for me?
Oh yeah, we gotta leave the match. Oops.
Had to reset the server. Got stuck on the Rocket League changed up the things for the got about 30 seconds left on the timeout. Rocket League changed up the order of the maps, so I got stuck on Starbase Arc, unfortunately. But we have about 17 seconds left on the timeout. The server is back up. Mogi, Water, and Wolf are in here, and we're just waiting on St. Cloud to come in. But St. Cloud has about 5 seconds left on their timeout, and
They're just stalling for a couple extra seconds.
Extra seconds, but there's the timer. It's gonna ring on my mic, but there they are in, and we will send them in and get them going into game number 5, Des Moines.
Game 4, sir.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Game 4, Des Moines up 3-0. Can they close the grand finals out in a sweep? Or does St. Cloud have one more life left in the tank?
So I think I know what happened. You know how all my other predictions have been wrong? Like, just completely. My goodness, Mogi once again!
I mean,
Not even letting you finish a sentence.
But as I was saying, all my
Full
predictions
movement.
have just been wrong. I think they're going to prove me right.
I mean,
You
it
also
just,
said game 7, and this is looking pretty dominant so
Hey,
far
I
from
also
the
said I
ratio.
just wanted to see them in this scenario and see them win a championship. That's the ultimate goal I wanted to see. So I always want to see a game 7 bubbly. You know this.
There you go.
into that corner. Trash looking for one touch. Vogs will get the touch forward. It's on to Water, but he's just going to collect it and dunk Vogs. Trash with a free ball here. What does he have mechanics-wise? Off the ceiling, maybe a pinch to Prussia, but it doesn't really work out as Vogs going for one more touch. Can't really get by, and off that sidewall, Prussia with the dunk. Looking for one more touch. Water goes missing, but Mo Wolf is able to cover it up, and Des Moines showing a bit of a crack in the armor there, as that pass from Prussia is going to go away and errant away from Trash as he gets a 50, but won't be able to get much. Wolf over one, looking for a bump on Vogs. Mogi bar down. It doesn't go in. Water commits his third man, and all in for Des Moines, but they don't get that one to go through just yet. Wolf again, flip reset forward. Prussia gonna hit it across. Wolf is there once again to collect. No boost, but just gonna put pressure on St. Cloud, and Bubbly, I mean, their Des Moines is turning at every opportunity they get. Water triple off the backboard, and Mogi has the follow.
It's just so much pressure. The St. Cloud Flyers just can't find a way out right now. Every touch, even Prussia trying, oh, I'll hit it straight sideways. Surely nobody from Des Moines there. Wolf's like, I'm just hanging out with zero boost in your corner. See, we'll wait for your corner boost to spawn. Keep the pressure going.
I'm so glad that I do not have to play in this game. I could not play at this level ever, let alone like compete with these guys. Like, my goodness. Mogi is scary right now.
I mean, it truly is the Mogi that was drafted #1 overall. I mean, this is why he went to Des Moines. Wolf was the third pick. Water was the second round pick. Everybody thought that, Wolf made a dumb play in picking Water, second round. Felt like Water didn't show to be a second round pick in combines. And I mean, I was one of those doubters, to be honest. I didn't really think this roster was going to work out, just with how Mogi plays the game. But with how they're playing the game currently, with how many just clean plays that really Des Moines has pulled out, they look like a team that could run through the play-in bracket. But maybe a bad touch there from Wolf as he kind of gives away the ball to Prussia. Well, Prussia going to demo Mogi. Shot from Trash. Upper 90. Mogi still has the save. Going to pinch it. Boggs, really the only one who's been lethal offensively for St. Cloud, and even then nobody kind of has been lethal offensively. This offense for St. Cloud has just been completely shut down as Wolf is last back. Upper 90, the post in and out, as that one isn't going to give him a favor that time. But 2 minutes to go. Des Moines holding the midfield line and the boost, and St. Cloud just can't get out.
It is scary right now. And can somebody go back like a minute ago and just clip Stewie giving Wolf credit and saying he did a good job? Can we just clip that real quick?
Yeah, I agree, because I feel like he didn't, when me and Bubbly were talking about it, he said, did you see that play I had? Didn't you see that goal I had? It's like, yeah, you scored one goal. Congrats, Brock. You did a great play, buddy.
That's word for word.
You got one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And overall, last back now, Mogi, 2-on-1. Looking for a finish, and Wolf has the dunk, and I can't believe that works, but it does on the 2-on-1.
Can we just point out that Water is on top right now? Everyone else has scored but Water. Like, Water has not really scored throughout this, but Water is really putting in a lot of work right here in Game 4 to make sure that everyone else can still eat while he is also getting full.
Touch forward from Trash off the backboard. Wolf, the flip reset dunk, though, from Prussia. In that corner, 60 seconds left. Up by 3, Des Moines. I mean, who would have thought this team was going to win the major? I mean, I thought they could make a run. I really thought that they could beat St. Paul. I figured they should beat St. Paul. And, with how they're playing today, I can see why they beat St. Paul and how fast they dispatched Bloomington as well. But St. Cloud in this grand final, I feel like just ran out of gas, played, a lot of Rocket League against Chicago, and now Des Moines kind of just, ripping the cord out, figuring what they need to do to shut down St. Cloud's offense. So St. Cloud just doesn't have any offensive chances, as no looks here as they finally get one, and even then they can't turn it in. As Prussia went missing, now only 20 seconds left. Trash on the collection. doesn't really have anything. Prussia last back has a 50, but time ticking away. There's some new kids on the block. The Des Moines Derecho are going to
I
get
don't think you said that right. I think it's Des Moines
Derechos. Major champions.
Baby. Major champions. 4-0 sweep the Flyers. That was crazy. What a series by the Derechos. They really just really put it to the grind. They just put it all the way down and they just went full-fledged. They didn't pull back and they just kept on going. There was no slowing down for them once this series started, and it just continued to push on and on and on. They had 10 shots in that game. Like I said, Water did a great job stepping it up there in game 4 to really help everyone else really just make their impact where they needed to, stepping up defensively. And unfortunately, we'll see what will happen come play-ins time, because once we get all these points tallied and everything is laid out, it's going to look a lot different.
I agree. And obviously, Bubbly, I hate to say you would be at the front, man, of that to understand, know what would happen for this, for the points have.
I got the whole bracket.
I'm going to go look at it. But I want to know where everything's ended. Des Moines ends in 3rd place and St. Cloud ends in 4th. They both get playing, but oh boy. Okay, so the upper side will be Des Moines and Mankato and St. Cloud and Bloomington, and St. Paul and Chicago starting in lowers. So yeah, that's a really, really large win actually for Des Moines, because they climb out of the pit and get into uppers of play-ins now. Yeah, they're the top of the bracket. They're the highest. Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, it ended pretty quick. It was over and done in a 4-0 sweep, and Des Moines just played some really good Rocket League today. I mean, just uncanny on offense for me. But I mean, you see the plays that they made in the end. I mean, how could we not be saying they would be the team to win at the end, Joseph? They just looked unstoppable on offense.
Absolutely. That was a very impressive outing. And like I said, all year I've been wanting to really catch one of their matches and be able to cast it and just overall see how they would play out and be able to be here in the finals and really just see them at the top of their game, when they're really peaking. I really enjoy being able to see that. And I mean, if you're any of these GMs, like I said, not even just plans, but even just looking towards next season already, because, some teams have already, their seasons are over, unfortunately. Let's be honest. You can always look towards next season. What are some of these players that are really standing out that maybe you could pick up and you can get next year in the draft potentially?
I think that now looking at obviously plans. You talk about all the majors are done, and I think we've seen a couple teams eliminated. There's a bunch of teams that are eliminated from Rising Star, from Premier, but overall, this season specifically for a lot of franchises didn't go as planned. I will say that the number one franchises, St. Cloud's continues to be a top 3 franchise somehow. Duluth again, Mankato back to form, Bloomington up there, which is surprising, but we have seen an overtaking as far as franchises have jumped up to becoming the top franchise. Hibbing and Brainerd were way down there last season. Now they're up in the top 8, and that is good to see. But obviously, Hibbing and Brainerd, one does not have a premier team. One does. So that obviously impacts something. But the final bracket, and obviously we know how this played out. Des Moines, we just watched them win against the Flyers in 4 games, and Bubbly, they gave it everything they had, but couldn't pull it out in the end. But regardless, still proud of the boys, and now you guys have some time. You have some time until play-ins start. We had a large giant vote, Joseph, I don't know if you know about this, but it was very recent, actually 10 days ago. We noticed that I don't know if it was we noticed, they knew about these dates a long time ago. Everyone knew about them a long time ago. It's not that we noticed 10 days ago, but play-ins is only 1 week before LAN, and play-ins is on January 4th through the 6th. There was a possible decision to move it to the 28th or the 30th, and it's like that's kind of close to people's holidays, and nobody's going to be back. We held a vote, and it was a landslide for the current dates that we have. So play-ins January 4th through the 6th for all leagues, and that will set us up for the teams that land. But appreciate you guys being here, and Bubbly, obviously you're here throughout the night, and always a pleasure, my friend. Obviously it sucks that you can't play, but I'm still looking forward to you coming back. I know Preston did pretty good. I'm still looking forward to you coming back though for play-ins, and if you can come back, that would be huge, but if not, I get it. Definitely. We hope. But Joseph, thanks so much for joining me for the grand finals, for joining us. Always a pleasure hearing the JTV voice. And if you guys don't have anything, I'm ready to send it to a thank you message. And we will see you guys later. Thanks so much for joining us. And we'll see you when play-ins come up. They're not going to be for a bit. We're going to go to a bit of an extended break. But thanks, guys. And we'll see you January 4th.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.